Personally, how do you go about your game in T20 cricket?
Well, I'm fairly quiet. Just get my mind in the right place. That's all about. That's what I'm about. Um, I'm not much to be all over the place and do quite a lot. It's just get my mind in the right place. And once my mind is in the right place, everything will fall into place.
And it's instinctive, is it? Your batting style, and do you like keeping too? Does it put you in a better frame of mind?
Keeping is, well, yeah, keeping gives you quite a good sense of the bowlers in terms of watching the hands and keeping that focus. But batting wise, it's instinctive. You see the ball, hit the ball, just stick to your strengths and know what you're about.
Hope your strengths go well. Good luck.
Thank you.
And just a reminder, in case you're just joining us, the Stallions have won the
Shots.
If the faster bowler has to bowl a bouncer, it has to be outside the off stump, because he hasn't got anything behind square on the onside. Wasn't the right line, and that's why he's been penalised.
Well, if he's going to bowl the short ball on the body line, he's got to have the right feel for it, not the right feel for a straight short delivery. It's more like bowling to your field. First over completed, 8 without loss.
Already a good start, positive start from Colombo Kings. And Chandimal once again looking very good. He managed to hit 2 boundaries of the first over. And it's going to be Laurie Evans to face his first delivery.
Suranga Lakmal will be the new bowler. Jaffna Stallions had little time to turn themselves around. They had that last game against Kandy Tuskers. Tuskers getting the better of them.
Off the mark straight away, Laurie Evans. Yeah, it's been hard schedules. Back-to-back games. Stallions earlier in the tournament played 4 games in 5 days. And in this bracket again, 3 in 4.
Dinesh Chandimal, the leading run scorer for this Colombo Kings team. Before this match, 218. Had a look at his scoring areas. Scores a lot of his runs in the V. That's between that mid-on to mid-off region. That's all the runs that he's scored. Take a look at that mid-off region. 36% of his runs coming there through the offside. That's primarily because of his strengths and the lengths that bowlers have bowled towards him.
Also the planning. Maybe he's given a task to go out there and play for longer period of times.
Yeah, those are the lengths that seamers have bowled towards Dinesh Chandimal. They've been in the slot. He's been able to score. Just take a look at the wickets. Twice he's gotten out to the short delivery. So that's why when you saw Fernando going short, I felt it was a good plan, but he didn't have the right feel to it. So it's something that opposition teams will look at. They will try to get that short delivery very early in his innings. And if they can entice him to play the pull shot, it's one way of getting him out early. If you can do that, you give yourself an advantage against the Kings.
Yeah, remember in his first game, he was trying to use the pace of the bouncer towards third man. He was holed out.
Good call. Few dots. That's the way to do it. Relieve the pressure by rotating strike. Suranga Lakmal leads the bowling attack for Sri Lanka in Test cricket. Very experienced, bowls good areas, good lines, ability to move the ball around. He's been improving all the while. Numbers getting better, but T20 is not his strength.
But that's where he makes a lot of difference. Lucknow consistently finds the right areas. So, good run up, good gather. Just goes through the action without any discomfort.
I like his seam position. He's got a good strong wrist, upright wrist that keeps the seam set. Just angling a bit to first slip. Stock delivery will move away from the right-hander. And he's not afraid to pitch the ball up, especially if it's new, because he can extract swing, and we know how important that could be. End of the second over, 11 without loss.
Last day of double headers here in the Lanka Premier League. Both teams qualified. It's just a battle to decide where they finish in the table.
Right arm out you. Center. Correct. Right arm out you.
Just one change to Colombo Kings, a team that is pretty much set and well established. They've been playing together quite often, this group of players. Dushmanta Chamera, the fast bowler, in the side today. 4 changes to the Jaffna Stallions. Notable absence of Avishka Fernando, the opening batsman. Mahesh Tikshana, one of the 4 changes today.
20 years old, Mahesh Tikshana made his debut, first-class debut. He's only played 3 first-class matches for Coles. Bit like Ajantha Mendis. Starts off with a wide. Now with the army. Flicks it off to the front of the hand and has some different variations. Interesting bowler.
Yeah, that's what you get when we talk about Sri Lankan cricket. Unorthodoxy.
And I was going to ask Russell Arnold about that. Many times you see cricketers from Sri Lanka, they're not one-dimensional cricketers, not either a specialist batsman or a specialist bowler. They're more all-rounders, and they've got this unorthodox style of bowling. Is there any reason for that, Russell Arnold? Whether it's a type of cricket played at the lower level here in Sri Lanka?
It plays a part. A lot of tennis ball cricket played, and to get the tennis ball across, you need a slingy action. That's where you see Lasith Malinga's type of action. This is more Ajantha Mendis. So to survive, you cook up things, if I may say.
Inventing, innovative,
and you got to get it, you got to do it good. Then coaches let you be, because there's something different and you want to create some doubt in the batsman's mind. So far, good start from Mahesh Tikshana. He's going to bowl to his major at the other end.
Well, I asked you that question because I'm well aware of Sunil Narayan. And that's a good piece of variation, delivering from beyond the 22 yards. That will surely change the length of the delivery. Might even deceive the batsman. So very good to see from the young man, already showing his variety and skill.
Yeah, that's confidence, isn't it? To straight away to go to different styles. There was a bit of an edge on that, I'm sure.
I'll come back to my Sunil Narayan story. 3 overs gone, 16 without loss. Colombo Kings with the opportunity to bat first. Angelo Matthews in that lineup will want to get some more runs. Hasn't been around runs in the tournament. So Russell, about that Sunil Narayan story. Sunil Narayan, as you all are aware, quite an unorthodox type of bowler, and that unorthodoxy that he developed came from tennis ball cricket, which he played extensively at the under-15 level. Some version of that game requires you to chuck the ball as against using a legal bowling action, so that's why he's run into issues with his action. And it's just because of his circumstances of growing up. Those are the things which have shaped him as a bowler.
Yeah, it was Saklan Mushtaq who introduced something new for the off-spinners. He invigiled the batsman in his career. He got the best of the batsman with that Dusra going, and then Muthaiya Muralidharan learned the art of bowling Dusra, and there was new dimension for the off-spinners.
Everyone evolves. You keep picking up from the other. Initially the Dusra came in, and then bowlers started bowling with a cross seam, taking away the opportunity for batsmen to identify what's coming, because that's chipped in the air. Tishara Pereira's underneath that. Hangs on to it. Chandimal's gone. That's a big one. Lakmal strikes. And he's done that by bowling that top of off stump length. This one a slower one though. But his test match length gets him the reward.
Chandimal is a big wicket. He's batted beautifully throughout this My 11 circle, Lanka Premier League. To see the back of him early in the innings, always bring sigh of relief for the bowling side. Nicely judged catch from the captain. Not firing for his side this time around. Chandimal is walking back after scoring 11. It's 18 for 1.
Laurie Evans takes strike. In completion of the catch, he managed to cross. The wicket of Chandimal has brought Daniel Bell-Drummond to the crease. Well, a couple things about this dismissal. One, the pace of the delivery was 113 kilometers per hour. So that's a slower delivery. And we've spoken about Chandimal's strength. That's his go-to shot, hitting through that mid-off region. But he's reaching for the ball because the pace is not there. It's the wrong part of the bat.
Well, bowled by Lakmal. And it's a change for Dinesh Chandimal, it must be said, hitting the ball into that area. He's been dominant square of the wicket. He mentioned that he's worked on his grip. He's found his old grip as a youngster, and that has set him free.
Just 55 runs in 4 matches to Daniel Bell-Drummond. That's in a very, very important position, number 3.
45 in the last game. 44, correction. You see the best in the corner of that graphic.
I thought the best was always at the front of the class, not in the corner.
They got a duck against Jaffna Stallions when they met for the first time in this Lanka Premier League. Yeah, this innings need wings, and Red Bull is the answer. It's going nowhere. End of the 4th over. They're still on 19. and have lost a wicket.
Both? Oh, just a newcomer. Both batsmen? Macam, ni one wicket ada.
"19 for 1, Dinesh Chandimal already dismissed. And there's a funny trend we're seeing with Colombo Kings and their batting. Whenever Chandimal makes runs, Laurie Evan, he fails, and vice versa. We should expect some runs, I would say, from Laurie Evans.
It's a plan. That's gone really well so far. Just mentioned 4 changes in the Jaffna Stallions lineup. Mentioned the schedule. And it's all about keeping your players fresh, but a couple of injuries, a couple of niggles have also forced changes. Avishka Fernando having a small problem with his shoulder. Dhananjay De Silva on a side strain. Now there are players that are required for Sri Lanka straight after this. Like side-ish. So just given a little bit of protection and time to recover and look after themselves.
It's the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League. My 11 Circle, an app where you can make your fantasy cricket team and play with real champions. That was going on the leg side. All you need to do is download the app from www.my11circle.com and start playing, making your fantasy team. You can get maximum points if you have the right team with the right players.
And for the moment, one should fancy this youngster. He's bowling so well. He created a lot of pressure in his previous over for Lucknow to strike, force the batsman into taking a few chances. So far, so good.
Grips the ball with his thumb and index finger, very different to a conventional spinner who uses the index finger and the middle finger to grip the ball.
Need strong fingers to flick it out like that. It is a hard art. Last ball, as we always highlight, so important in an over for a bowler.
That's called carom ball.
Single as we come to the end of the over, just 3 runs from it. This is good going by the Jaffna Stallions. 5 overs gone, 22 for 1. I mentioned the grip. Thumb and index finger with that release from Tikshana. Ball just wobbling, there's no spin on it. Brilliant.
So 1 ball into the 6th over now, 23 for 1. It's been steady enough at this stage. Chandimal is the man that's been dismissed.
some great areas. Oi. That's interesting. Jaffna come out the front of the hand. That one's just going straight on. He looks a very interesting bowler.
Extraordinary. That ultra motion camera is just unbelievable, the way you can see the clarity of that ball as it travels towards the batsman. Down the ground, hitting that nice and high. That's the important thing for starters. It is going to go for a boundary. That is a little bit fortunate. A bit of a smile there from Suranga Lakmal.
He was definitely deceived. To be a mile 11 circle champion shot.
Just to go on a little bit about Jaffna after this. Leg for one. Here, as we see, Laurie Evans advancing. He's kind of picked the length for Suranga Lakmal. Gets his hands through the ball and just gets enough on it for it to go over mid-on. The one thing we'll see here is Laurie Evans' weight going straight up and not over his front leg, which meant that he didn't get all the power that he could have into that shot.
And low on the bat. That was why it wasn't as effective as he would like. Hard into the ground. Played well in his last innings. Did Bell Drummond. Now these are really important times now, because they've started okay. Now the run rate is a little bit below what they would like to be, going at just a shade over the 5. So they'd like to step on the gas a little bit, but both these sides, remember, of course, are coming back from a couple of losses. Certainly a loss last time for the Colombo Kings, 2 for the Stallions. There's a look at the dimensions. 73 metres straight down the ground, and also to long on and long off. Square 64 metres. And then, of course, behind the batsman, it's always going to be shorter. Just around the 55 metres behind, and down the third man and fine leg as well. So the last ball of the power play coming up. 8 runs from this over so far. Can they turn this one into the one that gets them on, gets them going? No, it's nicely bowled. It's good stuff from Suranga Lakmal. 31 for 1.
And he can attack a little bit more. But on the subject of Jaffna, I know you were impressed. I remember the days, that's a confirmation that the power plays are off. There is a slip for the leg spinner.
This is where the game is on for me. The shootout between the 2 leg spinners today. This is where the game is on. So if you're someone who likes watching skill, like watching real ability, like watching guys who have almost perfected their art, they haven't quite got there, you've got to watch Case Ahmed and also Hasaranga. Look at the economy rate, 5.17.
To me, he's been the player of the tournament. What a shot that is. Down the ground, that's a definite mile 11 circle champion shot. Hasn't been easy to get away. That was tossed up. A little bit too full.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too full. I like the fact Tosara Pereira's attacking. He's given him a slip.
I want to see the batsmen get after him a bit. That's what they need to do. Just try and upset him a little bit. Just get him thinking. He's not in a situation where he's controlling the game out there, Hasaranga. 12 wickets. See, that strike rate is really, really tidy. And the economy is outstanding. Someone as a wrist spinner, that economy rate is magnificent.
Talking about batsmen attacking him, I think his skill level has been so good that the batsmen haven't been able to go after him. That's a new territory for him in this tournament. He has not been taken apart or attacked. But that's something that he will have to watch as he plays in the biggest league at the highest level.
His control of length is the thing that's most impressive about him for me. his ability to control the length, and we saw it there. He brought his 45-man to mid-wicket. He knew there was almost going to be a sweep on. That was almost intuition, and he adjusted accordingly.
And Wanindu Hasaranga, to me, has to be one of the top players of this tournament, and he should be walking in to any one of those fantasy teams.
9 runs off the over so far. This is interesting, this first over. There we go, advancing. Oh, was the wrong and 2. Now that went past the batsman, basically. Opportunity. 10 off the over. 41 for 1.
I'm not sure whether Johnson Charles have ever seen someone of the class of Wanindu Hasaranga keeping wickets. It hit the wickets, pads rather, so you can't really blame Johnson Charles, but he was completely deceived, there's no doubt about it. Johnson Charles can afford to have a laugh. Sudhamana Prasad sitting out. Well, the Lanka Premier League has been watched across the globe in different parts, and this has been telecast. These are broadcast partners, quite a few of them, and then of course the digital platforms have been brilliant. People have found this to be extremely convenient, the digital platforms. Tisara Pereira, the captain. Just want to expand a little bit on that Tikshana point. When I first saw Ajantha Mendis, I mean, he took the world by storm, if you remember. And the thing about him is when he started international cricket, he had a wide range of repertoire. It was not just the carom ball. The carom ball was the one that surprised the batsman. But he could bowl a wrong and he could bowl the off break. And it was his carom ball that really surprised a lot of batsmen because he got pace off the track. So Tikshana has a bit of Ajantha Mendis in his approach, his action, but I suppose he needs to develop a little bit more in terms of variety, which I'm sure he will.
Certainly something different and certainly fascinating to watch, as is this contest right now. That's cracked away, sweeper on the offside. Now these runs are not as big as they need to be. This is a very important part of this innings. Their run rate is only 6. They've got to step on the gas here, the Kings.
Yeah, exactly right, Hazy. They'll be looking for this partnership. They'll want to be chipping into gaps, running hard between the wickets, getting the boundaries that go with it, trying to put the pressure back onto the Jaffna Stallions.
He's been more singles in his approach. Obviously, Jaffna Stallions compelled to make a few changes, 4 of them. Just going to make sure that they have all their players fit for that important final round, semi-final and final, not risking anyone with the slightest niggle. And I suppose also an eye on that South African tour, if it happens.
Yeah, they've got back to their strongest possible team with regards to fitness as well. But the Colombo Kings need some boundaries. Yes, they do have Andre Russell, and that name Andre Russell always looms large. He's missed out in the last game, looked a bit lethargic in the field. He is a key player. When he's pumped up, I have no doubt he's going to be pumped up today. But they can't rely on him. They've got to make sure they do their own work in the middle.
Yeah, exactly right, Hazy. And they need to set the base almost for Andre Russell to come in and take the game on. He's looking as cool as ever, is Dre Russ.
Down to deep cover. Much needed boundary. The 50 is up at the end of the 8th over. Another My 11 Circle champion shot, and a welcome one for the Colombo Kings.
Tisara Pereira. once you put the pressure back on the bowling attack, then you will get some mistakes. You will get change of length, which will allow you to hit the boundaries.
Well, the drone has been providing some magnificent pictures. It's a bird's eye view. Chandimal, the only batsman dismissed. Wanindu Hasaranga continues to baffle the batsman. They're struggling to read him, looking to come down the pitch. And we've spoken about how good he's been. And the thing is, Mickey, when he started, no one really expected him to develop so much, but over a period of time, he's done brilliantly well for himself, especially as a leg spinner. Yes, he did get a hat-trick on his debut. Today, the Wanindu Hasaranga we see is so different to what we saw at that start.
Yeah, that's that control of length. He's developed into a match winner.
If we look at the last 2 overs before this one, 20 runs were scored off the last 2 overs. So they've got to make sure they continue in that vein. Now Hasaranga is the one that they want to try and upset his concentration a little bit if they continue at this rate. And I'll just get past the 120 mark. 9-0 from here gets them to 150. They're intrepid pitch doctors. Now that's out. That's out by some distance. Now there's a bit of bad luck.
How unlucky can that be? Bell Drummond. He was backing up a little bit too much. And well, this kind of dismissal. Unfortunate.
Daniel Bell Drummond out for 12 or 15, 53 for 2.
Right, it's going to be the strategic timeout with 53 for 2. 53 for 2. Into the 9th over. Angelo Matthews. He comes in at a critical time. Colombo Kings not really in control at the moment. Laurie Evans, the batsman on strike. This is very good bowling by Wanindu Hasaranga. Good pace as well. It's the right pace he bowls.
I'm still trying to work out how that deflected from that angle. Have a look at this. You would think it would go the other way. Came back onto the stumps.
57 for 2, 9 overs completed. That was just tossed up, and Laurie Evans just spoiling that over with a boundary.
Nearly hitting that one straight at short mid-wicket though. Control of length again. So impressive from Wanindu Hasaranga.
Center. Left arm now coming through.
57 for 2, 9 overs completed. It's a battle for the Colombo Kings. It's not been easy. Laurie Evans have been the mainstay, 31 of 26. Chaturanga De Silva's back in the side. Missed one game. The Colombo Kings now need their captain to fire. He hasn't really had a good run so far. Just seen a few glimpses, but really not fired at the rate he could.
High score of 22. That's all. Really hasn't got going at all. Angelo Matthews, they really need him.
Yeah, he needs to just find just a little bit of rhythm to his batting. 2 innings ago, I thought he had some good rhythm to his batting. He didn't get many in the last game, so he's looking for an innings, is Angelo Matthews. It's there, he'll find it.
Angelo Matthews would have walked into any fantasy team. So if you haven't downloaded the My 11 Circle Fantasy app, you should. On his day, when he used to fire, he would have been one of the first picks in any fantasy team.
This is the sharp end of the tournament. He's got to start showing it now. Leadership with the ball as well as the bat. This is when it starts getting important, when the senior pros get involved.
Gave himself a lot of room, Laurie Evans, but I thought he gave it away a little bit. Chaturanga De Silva firing it in outside the off stump.
With this start now at 58 for 2 after 9.4 overs, and Laurie Evans on 31 of 27, he can't afford to give it away.
Down the wicket he goes, and that's a boundary. He needs to do it quite regularly, Laurie Evans, because the rate of scoring is not great for the Colombo Kings. He needs a few like that.
We're one ball away from the halfway mark. Run rate of 6.3 is not good enough at this stage. Track is good. It's turning a little bit. It's a little bit in for the bowlers. They've got to start picking it up a little bit. Make sure they get some boundaries.
The singles so far they've had. And 6 runs of the over at the halfway stage. It's 63 for 2.
Just to look at the Manhattan graph as it stands at the moment, you can see that their power play was below their normal standards. They lost a wicket in the 4th, which didn't help. I guess over number 3 they were starting to go, then the wicket fell on the 4th, and then they'd start rebuilding again. A couple of strong overs, 7 and 8, and then a wicket in 9. So that's a clear indication, that graph, that they need to do some work. Halfway mark, 63 on the board, that's all. 8 wickets in hand, though. And Tuan Olafia, who has been a wicket taker for the Stallions, into the attack. Back over the bowler's head. Nice and strong. That's a good way to start the over.
The last 3 overs have seen this innings gaining momentum. And both the batsmen have started to look good. Although Matthews is young at the crease, but Laurie Evans has been dealing in boundaries.
Yeah, and he needs to. They still have a lot of batting to come. No real terror scene in the pitch. Or is there something that we don't see? A nature of being of variable pace or bounce?
Has found a way how to bowl well on these kind of surfaces.
Are you feeling okay, though? I mean, I've never heard you praise the bowlers before. You okay? You a bit ill?
Feel a bit out of sorts.
Yes, I can sense that.
But you have to give credit when it's due.
I think they've done a good job. I really do. The spinners have got a bit of purchase. There's been a bit of change of pace around the place. Duan Olafia will do that. He's picked up 8 wickets so far in the tournament. Whipped away, leg side, and it's gone all the way. That's
on the front foot, just picked it up over mid-wicket. Great hit, great hit. The runs are starting to flow.
Yeah. That shot was indicative of the fact this pitch is offering good pace and bounce.
nicely fielded.
Wanindu Hasaranga. That point hit into the square. It was travelling, but a couple of balls ago, no stopping this. Way deep in the crease.
It's definitely a trend we've been seeing from the batsmen that want to get nice and aggressive. They're definitely batting deep in their crease a lot more than we're used to seeing. Oh, that's through. That should have been stopped. Brings up the 50 as well for Laurie Evans. This is nicely played. 50 off 34 deliveries. Good work.
Yeah, well crafted. It was a mixture of absorbing pressure and go after the bowler at the right time. 79 for 2.
His 27th career 50 in T20 cricket for Laurie Evans. And we have a tall building. First time we've seen a bit of a skyscraper. It's good work this from Laurie Evans. He's gone to 51 now. It's a good over that last one, 16 runs from it. But Laurie Evans will be only too aware that 50s don't really win these games. He's got to make sure he kicks on.
But the good thing for the Colombo Kings is that from the two openers, if Chandimal gets going, Laurie Evans hasn't contributed as much. But if he fails, Laurie Evans is scoring. So that's a good thing. They need another batsman to join him there. Wanindu Hasaranga letting that through. Very uncharacteristic of him. We've seen a lot of those mistakes.
Captain Angelo Matthews has been off the ball in this Lanka Premier League. Would be very good if he gains a bit of confidence, gains a bit of form. That'll all go well for them in the semi-finals and if they qualify for the finals.
Chaturanga de Silva pretty tight at the moment.
1-1, come! Easy. Right there! Nice, Tom.
Loses his shoe but manages to control the ball and get rid of it, Tom Moores.
Did that pretty well in the end, because one area that the Stallions have not been good at so far has been their fielding. Well, that's pretty tidy stuff. Down the ground, long on to play. Tidy over so far.
Bowlers need all the support they can get in the field because they go for a lot. Boundaries just 70 yards.
1-1-1.
It can be pretty deflating
Nice, Tommy.
when good balls are let through. 11-12 gone, 83 for 2. Dixila de Silva, Andre Russell, Shan Priyanjan Isurudana. So they can all hit it. Good foundation. Run rate now up to 7.
I wonder if Andre Russell is starting to get ready. There's a quick look at the My 11 Circle MVP of the tournament. Gunatilaka at the top. This is collective points through the My 11 Circle app. Gunaratne at number 2, Sharnika at number 3, he's done nicely. And the captain of the Stallions at number 4, and the leg spinner for the Stallions, Asaranga at number 5. China now back into the attack. Now that's beautifully played. First ball, climbed into that and smashed it for 6. That'll get the bowler thinking.
He bowled so well in the power play. A long hop to start his second spell. Got the right treatment.
Yeah, didn't go through. First ball of the next spell, put under pressure straight away. Mahesh Deekshana bowled a lot of deliveries from behind the stumps. That's in the air.
Skied, and it's dropped shy. This is really interesting, the way that he's bowling from around about the stumps, as you pointed out, Russ.
Seems to be bowling lots of deliveries from there. Going through his action, which gets it right up there. Sliced it, Laurie Evans, but placed it well.
The bowler does pause, which you like, don't you? A bit of pause before delivering.
Something a bit different. I always like that in a bowling action. Got to be encouraged. I'm not sure this is what he perhaps should be doing. He did it the first ball as well. It went for 6. It was a long hop. The second one went up in the air, and he got a little bit unlucky. Looking to scoop that, missed.
Went a little too early. Gave Deekshana the opportunity to spot him and change his line. Brought it back beautifully. The youngster, 20-year-old. One more delivery. Russell's ready. Priyanjan is ready.
He's got the big blade in his hands too. Look at the size of that piece of wood. Hard down the ground. It's just going to be the one to finish the over. 6 off the first delivery, and he came back strong. 9 from it, 92 for 2.
And that 6 was off a poor delivery. Short. Evans dealt with it. On that one he's come forward. Right up there. Just a bit of variation. Same action. Tough for the batsman to read the projection. The flight, the pace. Just a little different, which Tikshana tends to rely on.
There's the X factor in the middle. Andre Russell, strike rate of 170. He's had a strike rate of 170 throughout his entire career, by the way. Russ, what do you think about that? Those deliveries from, say, 24 yards?
They're just a change up, so that the batsman doesn't get used to the pace or the action. A little bit more to think about. And it's about trying to get the batsman off his shot. Chaturanga De Silva continuing and bowling really well. He's into his third. Now what this does is, this is the 14th. Wanindu Hasaranga still has 2. So Thisara Pereira is setting up a great battle between Hasaranga and Russell. Binra Fernando and over. Lakmal was good in the power play. Tikshana, Hasaranga, and now Chaturanga De Silva, the spinners, doing bulk of the bowling through those middle overs.
Oh, that's a beauty. I think. Yep. Just over the top. Couldn't get to it. Couldn't get enough on it. It might have been a fingertip. A little bit disappointed. There's De Silva.
He thought his brother could have hauled that in. That's Wanindu Hasaranga in the deep. Just over. But even more problems for Thisara Pereira because Hasaranga doesn't look happy at all. Took a while to get off the ground. And now, more players from the dugout running up to him. He's done some damage to his hand.
Oh, there's Mickey, Sri Lankan coach, looking a little bit frantic as he should. He's a big rat for Hasaranga. Doesn't want to see him get injured. Let's have a look and see what happened. The ball go through his hands. Perhaps didn't time his jump as well as he would have liked. Certainly as well as his brother would have liked. Landed heavy. Magic sprays come out, so looks like he's going to be okay. It's not his bowling arm.
Matthews not timing that, just needed some luck, and it came just over the hands of Wanindu Hasaranga. Most days you'd back Hasaranga to take those.
Mickey hasn't got the phone in his pocket. Hasaranga can't have a phone in his pocket when he's on the field, Mickey.
He must have been talking to the medical staff.
He's telling a few. Brings up the 3 figures, coming back for another one, so 101. This might be worth another look.
Didn't run the bat down. He plonked it, and a direct hit sometimes tends to surprise us. Well, some days they run it down. Placed it nicely. Very close by Angelo Matthews.
Slide the bat, number 69.
Moving along nicely now, the Colombo Kings. 11 off that Chaturanga De Silva over, and that brings up the 50 between these two. And quite quick time to 32 balls after 14 and ran 3 for 2.
Confirmation of that 50 stand. It's good stuff. 50 off 32. Now look at the contributions. Evans, 36 of them. Boundary percentage, 68%. 9 4s and 3 6s so far. $14 overs gone. 103 for 2 it is. Quick look at the Cycle Incense Fair Play Award. The Viking team is number 1. I think the Stallions are number 1 previously. 625. The bowler thought that he should have had.
They can't sledge each other either.
They'll be silent in the family Christmas table, maybe.
Binro Fernando's back, bowled the first over of the innings. Chandimal picked up a couple of boundaries.
Straight away, Laurie Evans decided to go after the left armour and did it beautifully. A 6.
Jeez, he can hit a ball and effortlessly too. Field on the offside, he goes across his stumps. So effortlessly. That's his third 6. He's on to 69. Laurie Evans. 29 balls, 35 balls, correction, remaining in the innings.
Thought you wouldn't miss the opportunity to say 69, Russ. That was your number, right, when you played?
Certainly was. The number plate on my car was Geo69.
Why did you pick 69?
Great number.
Right, second ball of the over. Down the ground again, hard on the bounce.
You don't fancy the number?
Nothing wrong with it.
That has worked for him. Staying deep in the crease. Got the opportunity to hit the ball on the front foot. Also was able to play the ball square of the wicket on the offside. It's been very efficient.
That's lovely, that ruler. Really giving us an indication of the depth that he's using. When Andre Russell, if Andre Russell gets to the middle, you'll see him do the same thing as well. Sits deep and tries to get underneath the ball. He's played a few franchise tournaments around the world, Laurie Evans.
Another thing that makes it easy for Laurie Evans to hit the ball is he gets a good base. He's sitting deep, but look where his weight is. It's going forward. That makes it easier for him to hit the ball and gives him more options. It's just about transferring weight from there. That's a great position to be in. If your weight goes on to your back foot, you're restricted.
I mean, the other thing, of course, is the standard length of the ball is 10 to bowl. If they're trying to go the Yorkers, if they're just a little bit off, it really gives them advantage to get underneath it. It's a wide call, so another one to be re-bowled by Fernando.
He's batting outside off stump, isn't he? And then the tram line does move across.
What'd you say, Mia? 170. That was your call at the start.
Now they're moving closer and closer the way they have batted in the last few overs. And with this stroke, Colombo Kings have to back themselves to get there.
Now it's going to hurt further. The call from square leg has come that it's above the waist. So it's a no ball and a free hit. The over that the Colombo Kings needed has come.
Really good game awareness. Laurie Evans straight away just had a little bit of a look towards. There's the signal for the free hit. Had a little look towards the man at square leg, the man in black, that is. Fernando looks a little bit bemused. He can't work out why this is. Is it above the waist? Sure it is.
If he was up standing upright, it wasn't.
Maybe it wasn't, actually.
So harsh call. Because his legs are spread, he's not standing upright.
That was a little bit lower than what I thought. So this is perhaps a little bit unfair, this one.
Free hit, Laurie Evans hitting it sweetly. He'll be loving this.
Over the top of the bowler. Runs there. That's gone for 4. Very smartly indeed. Extra runs, they hurt.
My 11 circle, champion shot. There's a strong man, Laurie Evans. Hits the ball really hard. Low full toss. Give it a go, didn't he?
20 off the over. Suddenly the game has changed. The run rate has also picked up to 8. Binro Fernando under pressure. A wide, a no ball. Ball flying all over the park.
So there's some bonus runs there. Just bear that in mind for later on when this game gets a little bit tight. 60 runs off the last 5 overs. Can they get 60 off the next 5? Should be able to. That short, picked up, slammed. 1 bounce 4. Gee, that's a big over. It is the extra ball as well. So 24 runs from that, 127 for 2. Still got 1 to go.
Fernando has tried everything in this over. He looked to pitch the ball up. Didn't make any impression on the batsman. This time around, it was a slow delivery, but turned out to be very short for the batsman to hit it anywhere.
Not a lot of movement from Laurie Evans. If you have a look at it from square on, that base is set, transfer of weight, and he hits it.
How to go about this if you're a bowler, Russell? If the batsman is batting deep.
It's hard too. He also needs the margins in his favour.
And short again. There is protection. It is going to be only 1, but that is a huge over. That's a match-winning over potentially. 25 runs from it. They've still got work to do though. 128 for 2. There's the look towards square leg at the umpire. That was the full delivery that was adjudicated to be above waist height. So it was the one that was given as a free hit. The next ball made it a long over, made it a painful over. And a big over of 25. And look at that. There's a look at the Manhattan graph with big runs off that skyscraper.
Five overs remaining in the innings. 97 runs scored in the last 9 overs. That's the middle phase of the innings. Wonderful effort with the bat by Colombo Kings. They were 31 for 1 at the end of the power play overs. This has been a very, very good effort.
It's been a fantastic effort. When we were last on air, we said Laurie Evans would have to go deep and he'd have to go big. He's now 87 of 51 and is playing superbly well.
There he goes again. He goes all the way for 6. 5th 6 for Laurie Evans, the 6-6 of the innings, and they're smiling.
Laurie Evans up to 93. Are we going to see the first 100 of the tournament here? He has played phenomenally well, particularly in the last 5 overs where he has dominated.
Helped along with some in different strategy, you would say, the previous over. Fernando not quite sure what's the right line and length. Manchekome, #1 biscuit brand in Sri Lanka. Case Ahmed with smile all around.
Matthews this time. How high has that gone? 2 fielders taken. That's the long off. That is Suranga Lakmal. Angelo Matthews was never at his fluent best. He's really looking to try and take on the spinner. And eventually might turn out to be a blessing for the Colombo Kings with Russell in the dressing room. Matthews wasn't really firing. So Andre Russell, perfect for him to come in at this stage into the last 5 overs. Matthews 15 of 14, 137 for 3. Might be just what the doctor ordered for them. Well, it's also the time for the strategic timeout.
घर गिरवी बीवी खफा किस्मत के ताले बंद और जिंदगी झंड पर झंड मनुष्य के योग को भी संयोग मिल जाए तो उसकी दशा और दिशा दोनों बदल जाते हैं।
पार्थ तुम्हारा लक्ष्य चूकना नहीं।
Dre Russ, the new batsman, or Dangerous. That's how he's been with the bat in T20 cricket. Strike rate of over 200. Hasaranga making the breakthrough, breaking the partnership, one which produced 84 between Evans and Matthews. Setting things up for the death overs.
From overs 10 to 15, Laurie Evans got 57 of 23 balls as he pushes one out there to deep long on.
10 runs from the over, 138 for 3. Andre Russell coming in at the right time for the Colombo Kings. He has a real opportunity to just add the icing on the cake, so to speak, to the Colombo Kings innings.
Wanindo Hasaranga, that was the leg spinner. Angela Matthews just getting it right on the bottom of the bat and holding out to Saranga Lakmal.
I'll talk a little bit about what I saw with Hasaranga in terms of his variety. You often wonder why leg spinners are so effective in T20 cricket, and that's because he's got two major options that he can rely on to take wickets. He's taken 13 wickets, but before the last one, he's taken 6 of those 12 wickets with his conventional leg breaks and 6 with the wrong ons. Not many leg spinners do that. They rely a lot on their googly to get wickets. Case Ahmed is one such. He also prefer bowling to right-handers.
Dre Russell, he's off the mark as he pushes too deep. Extra cover. You're 100% right with what you say, Darren. And it's because the batsman's got to attack. There we go, the leg spinner on the left and the googly on the right. Very hard to differentiate between Wanindo Hasaranga, and the batsman has to take him on because he's only got 4 overs, and that difference, and with the batsman having to take him on, causes the mistakes.
Miscued. Lucky for Laurie Evans. Falls short of the 2 fielders. So just to finish that conversation, the leg spinners, they love bowling to right-handers and using the googlies to the right-handers with the ball angling into them. Not for Hasaranga. He can spin the ball away from the right-handers as well, and he can spin the ball into the left-handers too.
And the operative word there being spin. That's the key. He spins the ball both ways.
Gets it through. It was a mere guiding shot. Didn't try to put power on it, Andre Russell. But he's smiling. His first boundary. My 11 circle champion shot.
Pace of the ball, but plenty of width. And Russell just timing it so well. We haven't still seen him really go after that with a lot of brutal strength. He's just feeling his way through. And into the last 2 or 3 overs, Andre Russell can really do a lot of damage.
Dwayne Olivier, 1.4 overs. 0 for 23.
This is what I've been talking about. First wicket you saw, leg spin, then the googly, and then another wicket with a googly. The leg spin, and another leg spin. So the balance with his googly and the leg spin to get wickets, very, very good from Hasaranga.
End of the over, 145 for 3 after 17, the Colombo Kings.
Climbing up the charts, Laurie Evans eyeing up a century, just 3 runs away from it. And what might just be the first century of the LPL. Just one. This is a crucial over as well. We've spoken a lot about Hasaranga and his ability to take wickets. I guess if you're a supporter of this Jaffna Stallions team, you'd want him to use the next 5 deliveries. Maybe get the wicket of Andre Russell.
Yeah, what would be Russell's approach? Would you want to see him out playing like that and looking for singles? Or would he try to take him on?
What will be the approach from the two batsmen out there?
I think they've got themselves in a good position. They clearly don't want to lose Laurie Evans, who's set. And I reckon they'll be happy. If they get 6 or 7 off this over, they'll be happy, and that'll allow them to really attack the last two.
An appeal, use of the feet, something that he's done quite well in this innings, Laurie Evans, just to throw the bowlers, especially the slower bowlers, off their lengths and what they're comfortable with.
The only way you can tell the googly with Hasaranga is by the line of the ball.
2 is the call. Will they go for it? Yes, they will. That's the century, the first in the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League. The honour goes to Laurie Evans of the Colombo Kings. What a knock.
Absolutely. Few players threatened, but he got there first. And that was a fairly punishing innings of just 60 balls. He's going at a good strike rate, many sixers and fours. And above all, he's been the lion contributor of the Colombo Kings score. And the 150 is also up now with that single.
He's been very impressive. That's been a very, very good innings from Laurie Evans. The ability to play all round the wicket is what's made that so good. Andre Russell clearly does not want to take a risk against Wanindu Hasaranga as he pushes that one out to the deep. End of the 18th over, 151 for 3 for the Colombo Kings.
Man of the moment, Laurie Evans, getting to the first century of the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League. There was a little bit of a shout just before he achieved that landmark. Missed time by Russell, it goes in the air. Falls just short of the fielder. He was running in to complete the catch. Difficult chance.
Vinura Fernando running in from third man. It flew off an edge. Russell will now look to launch. There are a few big shots. He was lunging, just couldn't make it. He's a tall man, just eluding his grasp.
Short and club it away. Flies over Shoaib Malik, goes for 6. Russell gets going.
Dwayne Olivier, he's been short of a gallop this whole competition so far. You would have thought he'd get better and better. He actually hasn't. That length to bowl to Andre Russell in over 19. He's going to punish you. He's going to kill you. You keep bowling that length to this man, he will keep hitting the ball for 6.
I'm sure you'll agree that Olivier is also short in pace. He's really down. That last delivery under 125 just allowed him to hit it over long on.
An attacking Yorker. Well, let's appreciate the effort by Laurie Evans. The first century of the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League. He started quite slowly. His last 71 runs coming off 31 deliveries. 8 fours, 5 sixes. And he was there from the start. Lost his opening partner Chandimal quite early. That didn't prevent his desire to bat deep in the innings and to score his second T20 century.
The initial thought was around 170 for the team batting first, and that looked reasonable. That's what the pitch doctors thought. But at the moment, 161 for 3. They got 8 deliveries left with Russell there. capable of getting much more, at least close to about 180, I think.
Not quite sure with this field what the line should be. There is a mid-off, there is a cover on the circle. Sweeper through the offside with the third man. Is it going straight? With length. I've often seen teams go full and wide outside the off stump with 3 fielders and boundary riders through the offside. Sometimes 4.
Yeah, the key is with the field he's setting, you would think he'd be trying to go full into the pads of Andre Russell. That was an interesting one. I think he got lucky with that length actually.
The wind also a factor, and that's allowing Russell to hit with the wind. Swing and a miss. Again, the line outside the off stump. 19 overs gone, 161 for 3.
The interesting thing there was we talk about wide and full to Andre Russell, and I think that's the way to go to him. But the field didn't tell me that was how they were going to bowl, which was interesting. I'm not sure whether that was a disconnect between the captain and the bowler, or if it just happened by chance.
I'm with you there, Mickey Arthur. Moment the landmark was achieved. Laurie Evans putting in the hard work, getting the result and the honour as well. First T20 century in the My 11 circle, Lanka Premier League. What a moment for the batsman from the UK.
Great celebration by him with the helmet sitting on the bat. Well, they all find unique ways of...
Where you got that from, Roshan? Where you reckon he got that from? Christopher Henry Gale.
You should know. That's a boundary. That's a good start to the over. Laurie Evans just carries on. They'll need a good finish, the Colombo Kings. They've done all the hard work. Just opening that front leg and hitting it through extra cover. Lakmal bowling the 20th. They'll need a good finish. I'm not sure 165 will be adequate. Yes, the Stallions may not have some of their top order batsmen, but still this looks a decent pitch.
That's good. Peels off to the mid-wicket region. 5 runs from the over so far. What will Andre Russell do?
Laurie Evans clearing his front leg, looking to go over deep mid-wicket there, but I think he'll be happy with the one and gets the big man Andre Russell on strike here. Colombo Kings will be happy with that result.
Deep square leg, deep mid-wicket and a long on in place. There's also a short fine leg through the onside. Goes straight. And the wide signal. What should be the plan here for Suranga Lakmal?
For me, I think Suranga Lakmal should be going full. His field is a deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, deep long on and a long off, and then a deep extra cover. For me, his margin for error is more on the leg side here, hence the wide. But I think that strategy for him is right. He angles the ball into the pads. If he can get his length right, the field sums up and supports his plan of going full and straight into the pads of Andre Russell.
If he doesn't get it right, he will pay the price. Andre Russell prefers to hit to leg when he's using his power. Goes straight this time and gets it in that Yorker region. So good delivery by Suranga Lakmal.
You'd love to be Russell singles.
Yeah, just to go back to that plan, I didn't necessarily say it was the right plan, because I still think full and wide and packing your boundary riders on the offside is the way to go. But he executed that particularly well because he got the length right.
Really go with a change up outside the line of the off stump. Goes straight. Finds the fielder, Laurie Evans. Maybe getting a bit tired now. He's been there from the start of the innings.
Yeah, and I think that strategy to Laurie Evans is spot on, because we've seen Laurie Evans exit and hit very well over extra cover, square the wicket on the offside. So that plan is right for Laurie Evans. Andre Russell, perhaps it needs to change to wide of the off stump.
Clipped away, it's in the gap, it's well timed, and it will be 4. Beautiful shot by Russell.
Well, Moore's made a great effort, but the timing was perfect on the pads. Just flicked away through mid-wicket. Look at Moore's go. We're talking about the margin of error from Suranga Lakmal. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I don't think he got that horribly wrong. The timing and the force of the bat of Andre Russell was amazing. We see a man come over from the offside now, so clearly they're persisting with that plan to Sara Pereira going into a mid-wicket or a square leg just in front of square.
That's excellently bowled, and a good response as well. It was struck firmly, dislodged the bails. Suranga Lakmal had the presence of mind to lift the stump with the ball and effect the run out. Umpire will just check to confirm. Well, this is a very good end to the over. Only 12 runs from it. No issues there. Andre Russell will be run out.
Loved the presence of mind there. With the bails off, he had to take the stump out the ground. Great cricket awareness, Suranga Lakmal, and that is out by the country mile.
173 for 4, which means the return has been just 45 runs in the last 5 overs. And that is a very good comeback by the Jaffna Stallions. With Russell coming in and threatening to take the bowlers apart, I thought they bowled very well towards the death. Suranga Lakmal's last over going for 12, which is quite good. And you see that last delivery full on the leg stump, and eventually they've run out.
So good work in the end by Lakmal. 4 overs, just 26 runs he conceded, and he picked up a wicket as well. Wicket also to Hasaranga de Silva, 1 for 31 in his complement of 4. Jaffna Stallions will look back and say they've done a good job, because Colombo Kings, they were well poised for making full use of the death overs. Less than 10 runs per over scored. So if you missed it, Colombo Kings sent in to bat, got to 173 for 4. Laurie Evans scoring the first century in the My11 Circle Lanka Premier League. He got 108 of 65 deliveries, batted really well, his second T20 century. There was a good partnership between himself and the captain, Angelo Matthews. Partnership with 84 from 44. And then in the end, with Andre Russell able to finish the innings.
Look at the bowling. Lakmal was good, 1 for 26. Hasaranga always 1 for 31. Quite a few bowlers used. Just Binura Fernando going at 16.5 runs and over. So 173 for 4.
Now let's join on Russell Arnold.
A magnificent innings, Laurie. How many balls did you get it in?
You tell me. But yeah, no, it was a good day, finally paying off.
Yeah, what's your batting based on? Is it just the base that you get there and hitting through the line? What's your philosophy?
I mean, look, as a batter, especially when you play around the world, you've got to adapt conditions as much as you can, and if you stay in the present moment as much as you can and weigh up the conditions, then you give yourself the best chance. Obviously, I'm usually batting in the middle order, but this competition I've gone to open, so it's been a great opportunity, and thank Angelo for it.
Thought process, because the first 10 overs probably didn't go to plan?
No, it's a tough wicket. They bowled extremely well, and you know, as a batter in this game, it's always trying to weigh up, you know, the risks of, you know, taking it on, or do you wait for the bad ball? But you usually try and find a mix in between the two. But they just bowled well, and everything we tried, we sort of got out to. So, you know, I was fortunate not to sky one up in the air.
Tough wicket, you said. What was the challenge, and do you think you have enough?
I think me and Angelo said 170 would be a good score. I think obviously if Dre had got going there, you know, you might look at 180, maybe even 190 with these boundaries. So they bowled straight, they bowled on good lengths with the new ball, and it was quite hard work. Everything seemed to hit the bottom of my bat, and then with the spin it sort of became slightly easier.
Go enjoy yourselves. We did enjoy the North Pole.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really important message here from Laurie Evans, staying in the moment, keeping present. And this is what the Jaffna Stallions will need. They need 174 from 120 deliveries. Don't move a muscle, because the run chase will come to you on the other side of this break.
He's been on the shadow England squad, white ball squad. He's a really, really good white ball player. I think he said, you know, he got a couple on the bottom of the bat early. He needed to get a boundary away. And I think he hit one over extra cover. And that kind of was the catalyst for that innings just to go. And boy, did he play well after that.
But isn't that a little bit of a secret as well for people who perhaps aren't hitting as well as they would like to when they first get out there? We've heard that from one or two players actually so far in this tournament. You just stick around a little bit longer, suddenly one of the screws, bang, you're away.
Yeah, that's the nature of the conditions. And we think of Avishka Fernando before that as to, you know, a tournament innings right at the start of the tournament, I think, where he batted through, and the more he batted, the more confident he got, and the more the ball seemed to find the middle of the bat. So excellent batting.
And as far as the Kings are concerned, it wasn't the usual suspects. It wasn't the Andre Russell. It was someone else that's come to the party.
And that's good for them going forward in this competition. They're getting more and more players into form.
Okay, the other one who missed out was Chandimal right at the start. Let's have a look at the highlights of this innings, and this is where they started proceedings, and straight away there was some solid shots looking to be played. The surface was quite interesting, and this was hitting the toe end of the bat, and it was stopping just a little bit, and one or two, that was unfortunate, that wicket, I can't believe it was run out of the bowler's end, and really good work from here on from Laurie Evans.
Yeah, it was, Hazy. We say he controlled the innings. He was amazing. The other batters seemed to struggle a little bit. And I think this innings is going to be put into context when we watch the Jaffna Stallions bat.
Okay, so this is him just continuing to play his shots. And he really did. That was interesting, because this actually cost extra runs. That went for 6 runs as well, and he got an extra hit with a free hit, and it went for 4. So let's just put a pin on that and see what happens later, because it shouldn't have been called that extra free hit. So those little incidents can make a bit of a difference in this sort of format.
They make a massive difference, and how often do you see the free hit being the catalyst for the batsman just to start flourishing? So no, fantastic batting. They'll be happy with that.
Okay, righto, so continues to go. 173 for 4 it is. There's that 100 again, and there's a salute with the helmet on top. So really good work from Laurie Evans. A really good performance to get them to that total. And I mean, so Howell said right at the start that 170 he thought, and we didn't think they were going to get there at the end. Andre Russell, run out at the very end, and nice to see Shoaib Malik just go there and congratulate. Just a quick one. The Stallions had problems. Now, in half of their games, after 6 overs, they were 4 for 40. So that's something that they're going to be aware of, and something they need to correct when they come out and bat.
Yeah, it is. That's been a massive problem for them through the tournament. They need to get starts. They've batted sporadically well at 1, 2, and 3, and 4, but they've never done it as a unit, and that's something they'll be looking to do.
Okay, Mickey, good stuff. Righto, the players are just about getting ready to come out in the middle. Of course, it's a statement game, really. Both these sides have qualified, and they are through to the semi-finals, but there's no doubt the Stallions would like to get back on the winning path. Okay, time for a break. When we come back, we're going to have some live cricket. Welcome back. So here we go. It's the start of the second half of this game, and it's an important game. Both these sides have qualified for the semis, but it's a statement game. It's about getting back on track. Both these sides have lost their last game. The Stallions lost their last two. Tom Wars is back in the lineup. 137.6 his strike rate.
Johnson Charles is going to be partner. He runs on the board. Will bring a lot of pressure to the openers. The batsmen to follow. Their skills going to be tested and challenged. Because Colombo Kings, they have a formidable bowling attack. It's a great mixture of swing bowling, pace bowling, leg spinner and finger spinner. Exciting times ahead.
Listening to Laurie Evans earlier on, Russell Arnold interviewed him where he said it was the new ball that really caused him a few concerns, but he felt that with spin it was easier. Now we were talking about Wanindu Hasaranga in the mix.
Right, I went too far away now. Just waiting for the syncing of the clocks. Looks like we might be set to go. Laurie Evans has been the star so far. Superb performance from him. Here we go, Angelo Matthews. One problem they've had, and this is, I think, a really important stat for the Stallions. In half their games, the 6-over mark, they've been 4 wickets down for 40. They've had to have someone rescue them, someone to recover. Avisca Fernando's not playing today.
That's why there were so many changes in this game as far as Jaffna Stallions were concerned.
Single. See, on that point, Hazy, I felt that they were a little bit over-dependent on Thisara Pereira. And the rest of the batting really didn't bat around him. But every time they looked to chase, Avishka Fernando was their man.
Won their first 4 and they lost 2 of their last 3. Of course, that game against Danmula Viking was a no result. That's why I got the 1 point. That was rained out. They've got to get back into winning ways. I mean, they started so well. They were so organised. They looked like they knew exactly what they were doing right at the start. They chopped and changed too much for my liking. Tried to bring too many guys in. That's clubbed away, and that's 4. That's a beautiful shot. It really is from Tom Wars.
That's where the left-handers are so good. They have a sniff of bit of room, and they go for it. Gave a spank to that ball and disappeared. That's a good start. Good start for Jaffna Stallions.
Now that time it's gone past the inside edge of the bat. Just need to be a little bit careful on this track. It's every now and then there's a little bit of movement off the surface with a new ball.
Angelo Matthews has been good with the ball. The most encouraging feature has been that he's actually bowled. He started off as an all-rounder, then lost his bowling due to injury. But it's good to see that he's back bowling, which will give Sri Lanka lots of options when he's in the side. And he's skillful. He moves the ball around. And that last delivery, just a bit of away movement to the left-hander.
And it's lazy from Tom Wars. Simple as that. Boundary a couple of balls ago. Then he just sparred at one and was beaten on the inside edge, and then he just wafted at that one. He's got to tighten up. Someone like Matthews is not going to allow him to do that. It's good stuff from Matthews in the end. 5 for none. Lovely shot of the stadium. We've used 10 pitches so far, which I think is outstanding as far as the facilities are concerned here at the MRI Stadium. Tell you what, he was flying earlier. Laurie Evans, 180 scored in no time. Really did play superbly. Brought up his century off 60 deliveries. That's what Red Bull does to you. Boys on the sidelines. Doing the right thing and supporting the sponsors. Nice to have Red Bull on board.
That 100 from Laurie Evans was an innings of high substance.
See, on the subject of the Jaffna Stallion changes, Hazy, I think they've been compelled to do that because some of the batsmen have picked up a few niggles, so they're just playing it safe. They're looking at the bigger picture in terms of the semi-final and final if they go there. And also, there's been some Sri Lankan players, so they're a little bit concerned about that aspect too. It's been a bit unfortunate for them. But then these are things that teams struggle to manage. So they got to work with available resources. And that way, I think we need to say well done to the Jaffna Stallions.
Sarah Pereira said to you at the toss that they've picked their strongest available lineup today.
Yeah, they said available because there have a few guys who are carrying niggles.
Available, that's the key word. But that's what they've got to do now. They've got to make sure they get all the best players back in, those that can front up and get back into winning ways, get back on the right road. Because the wheels have just got a little bit wobbly. Oh, he's going to be special. Spinners were very good earlier today. Moore's having a dip at that sweeper into play. Spinners between them, 3 of them for the Stallions. Bowled 10 overs, just 1 for 69, so they certainly stemmed the run flow. So Case Ahmed is going to be a key player.
Laurie Evans, well, it was an outstanding knock of just 66 balls, given some support, some treatment. But it was a critical and important 100 at this stage of the tournament. At a time we would expect pitchers to be a little bit tired and won't be as batsman friendly. But to have Laurie Evans coming out and bat the way he batted, it augurs well.
He's enjoying himself now, isn't he? Not. I bet that was a good call, Laurie. The important thing about that knock is the fact that he got the 50 and he kicked on. I liked the interview. He said that he decided to really get going. And where's Mickey on the phone with again now? He's probably checking to see if Fasaranga's okay. But Laurie Evans, I thought, was really impressive the way that he kicked on and got the big 100. It's going to be really impressive if he survives this workout as well on the bench.
Spoke of Laurie Evans and spoke the way he kicked on. I'm not referring to kicking on there, but it's in the middle. Started off quickly and then he started to accelerate. And he was good, not just against pace, but he enjoyed himself against spin too. Played a delightful and unforgettable knock, his second T20 100.
Tidy over this so far. Can he finish? Yes, he can. That's really good work from Radana. Really good second over. Just 3 runs coming from it. 8 for no loss. Looks like he's having a terrific time there.
It's like he's getting a massage, which is not available here. Quite a few people actually.
What have you been looking for, Amir?
Well, Sri Lanka is quite popular for good massages, isn't it? Unfortunately, not this time around. Feeling tired. Need one.
Haven't found one.
Need one.
Chamira now. Now, this is a really good opening bowling lineup when they're firing. These three guys that we've seen so far, particularly Udana and also Chamira. Last game around, they were so loose when they started, particularly Udana. That's whipped away. On the bounce. He likes to score runs square. There's Johnson Charles. That's his key batting area. You see a wagon wheel of any of his big innings, Johnson Charles, and it's always square on the offside or leg side.
Well, Chamira is going to challenge these two openers. He's accurate. He bowls with pace. You don't see this often. Pace and accuracy. And he's on to the batsman like a ravenous wolf. I like the attitude of this fast bowler.
Tom Moores has got some good raps about him in England cricket. He's a keeper, of course, quick single. He's a busy batsman. We haven't seen anywhere near the best of him. His highest score was the first game when he got to 18. He's been left out for the last 3. But he's a good player, Tom Moores. Let's not forget that. And if he gets going, that's the key. When you're not feeling comfortable, he can make a difference.
He's a better batsman than those figures. He's talented, skillful. Hasn't fired in the Cup Premier League.
Whipped away. That is a beautiful strike. One bounce 4, again square.
This can be deflating for a fast bowler who runs in, bends his back and treated like this. A lot of content in that stroke.
10 out of 10 for power. Very little feet movement, but extremely strong and powerful. That was definitely a mile 11 circle champion shot, no doubt about it. Well, he's coming, he's ready to come back after that massage.
Is he alive? Oh, he's bowled him. That is a beauty. It has just come back a fraction. It has just come back enough. And it's just tilted that off stump back enough.
Just cut down the pace on that occasion. Intelligent bowling from the youngster. Have a look. Deceived the batsman. He was into the shot early. Left a huge gap between bat and pad. And that was more than enough for the bowler to prevail.
Well, he followed up the pace of the ball again with another one, and this is the result. Johnson Charles goes for 8. It's 14 for 1 in the third over.
Well, Johnson Charles is dangerous. All teams like to see him gone early, and they've picked him up for 8 now, so 14 for 1 it is. That was a very special delivery. Beautifully controlled. Sri Lanka now at number 3. Bear in mind, I mentioned that they've on half their games they've lost 4 wickets fairly early. Another look at the wicket. Very, very clever.
Talk about the control. Just landing the ball in the right area.
I think we've spoken about the injury worries for the Jaffna Stallions, but that has opened up a place for someone like Charita Salanka. Another look, a lot of pace of the ball and very little feet movement. Just slight inward movement, feet going nowhere. So Charita Salanka from Richmond College goal.
I love it when bowlers get so excited. Sorry, Rashan, just to chip in. He knows how special that delivery was. I just love it when they celebrate like that, when they've done something special.
Last ball of the over.
Whoa, that's a beauty as well. That's gone through superbly. What a top over that was. 14 for 1.
Look at the carry. Look at the bounce. Surprised the wicketkeeper as well. Yeah, bending his back on that occasion. They started to clock over 145 now. Chamira.
Yeah, that's serious heat for him. An exciting time for the Sri Lankans. To have two bowlers bowling as quickly as Lahiru Kumara and Dushmantha Chamira. And few not far behind in pace. So this is very good time for fast bowlers. 145.7 that last delivery. Look at Dinesh Chandimal. He just thudded into his gloves.
And he's seen a few over the years hit his gloves nice and hard. The tone has been set by the bowlers at the top for the Colombo Kings. Pranjan now.
Off spin with two left-handers in. That's not a surprise. Cricketers today, they sport very different hairstyles. Then Damika Prasad, Andre Russell, Lasith Malinga had a unique one. All different.
Well done.
They become symbols for fashion, role models, and that's another one. Amazing. The colourful personalities, aren't they? Not just on the field, but off it as well.
Trendsetters.
Come on, Ashi. Wow!
Quick single, good running, good understanding.
Just on the subject of Charita Salanka that I was trying to complete from Richmond College. Again, another highly promising youngster. I believe plays for the Sinhalese Sports Club. And someone who's been thought of highly. That's a boundary. Short and wide. And it's the turn of Moores to pounce on.
My 11 circle. Champion shot that was. It was just that shot, and that was more than enough for the left-hander to rock back and hit the ball into the gap. Usage of feet. Clever bowling. Good response from the bowler after getting hit for a boundary.
The drone doesn't get caught up in those light towers. Just giving us a lovely look at all the centre square here. Good connection. There is protection.
Come on, Ashi.
So rare, you know, in franchise tournaments when you see so many games played at one venue for starters. And also when you do have that, you often see game after game played on one pitch, and therefore it deteriorates a little bit. But the fact that we've had the luxury here of playing one game and swapping to the next pitch, it's been terrific. 22 for 1.
Nice ball, right arm over to you. Tariq.
$173 for 4 is what Colombo Kings scored. By the way, the first 10 they were 63 for 2. The next 10 they scored 110 for 1. That's how well they played in the last 10 in particular. It's pretty tight at the moment. Not much in it after 4 overs. Matthews again. You've got to be alert. You've got to be ready to bowl. Quick single.
He started off with 139 and then kept on working up the pace. And the last delivery zipped through. He's a special talent. He is.
That's an outstanding group of 6 balls. He bounced quite as much as Moores thought it would. Shy at the stumps. Centurions backing up.
You spoke about the surfaces, spoke about how good the ground is. I think the curator and his team should be congratulated. They've done a brilliant job because that was a worry. Godfrey Dabarera, he's the international, he's the manager and the venue manager, international venue manager, and his support staff, Batra next to him. It's been an outstanding job by the staff. Just over mid-on, that's gone for 4. And shots like that could be played because these surfaces are so good, and that's why we were congratulating that ground staff.
Yes, they did their job quite well throughout this competition. Matthew thought he had a chance to dismiss the left-hander. The thing which saved the left-hander with that stroke was the elevation. Didn't give any chance to the fieldsman at mid-on.
Always a bit of extra excitement when you've got a captain in operation. If you've downloaded the My 11 Circle app, because you've got the captain in play, such as Matthews bowling at the moment. You double your points when he does something special. He's a champion. He's been around for a long time. Angelo Matthews, he needs a wicket here. Oh, he liked that one. Again, if you've got him, you get excited then. Might have thought you'd been in with the game.
They kept on moving the ball away from the left-handers this time around. The time is right to try and bring the ball back into the left-handers. Almost. Worked for the captain.
Last ball of the over. High, over mid-off. And it's all the way for 6. It's a good finish to the over for the Jaffna Stallions. They're 35 for 1 at the end of 5 overs.
Yeah, he got underneath that a bit. He didn't mean it to go that high. He was a little bit concerned, I think, at that stage. Had a quick look and saw Andre Russell was there and thereabouts. I think Angelo Matthews realised it wasn't going to be in play from a catching point of view because it was carrying. So that's a nice way to finish the over. 13 runs from it. 35 for 1.
Priyanjan again. Nice early call. Last over a little bit expensive from Angelo Matthews, working in the favour of the Jaffna Stallions. They've started to move on. Just like we saw from Laurie Evans. Stallions need one of their main men, one of the batsmen at the top to go big.
boy. Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Last ball of last over.
They're going to need Tom Worth to go big now. He's absorbed a couple of balls.
Red card, boys. Red card,
He's
boys.
getting himself in. They're going to need to play him to play the Laurie Evans type innings. That's a good shot. Square the wicket. 4 runs.
My 11 circle champion shot. Now that's what this guy has. He's got quick hands. That was tremendous power. That wasn't short though. Earlier in the tournament, he got himself out trying to play that to straighter deliveries.
Come on, Aceh. Come on, Aceh.
This time he makes contact. Look at that.
Kagam, macam ni lah.
Off the stumps.
Isa.
Bowler's end. Direct hit. Asalanka sold down the river, but that was a wild throw from Udana.
It was a wild throw. The key to Laurie Evans' batting, though, is that he doesn't lose shape. He came down there. Oh, I'm afraid he's out, Asalanka. He came down the wicket. He tried to hit it too hard. He's just punched it through extra cover beautifully off the back foot. That was too hard. I think that's game down, Russ. What do you think?
Bowling a massive angle, so unless he turns and straightens, it's not going to be hitting the stumps. We haven't seen Priyanjan turn the ball. He's varying his pace,
Come on,
which is good. Last ball of the power play.
Oh, nice.
Just the 5 runs, a good one for the Colombo Kings. 6 overs gone, it's 40 for 1.
Nice looking shot. Played with a vertical bat. Picked the gap nicely. There was a sweeper through the offside. And that is what we saw from Laurie Evans when he started his innings. Wasn't wild in his stroke play, was calculated. Gave himself time to get adjusted to the conditions. And then he got a lot of rhythm to his batting. Nine runs the difference between the two teams at this stage of the innings. Power play coming to an end.
Here's a wicket taker, Case Ahmed. He's also used at the right time by Angelo Matthews. Bowls wicket to wicket. In terms of wickets, the best power play for the Jaffna Stallions. Generally they lose heaps. 3, 4, maybe. Brilliant shot. Punched off the back foot, but then followed up with 3 dot balls. Now that's a crime, isn't it, in T20 cricket?
We'll go to the fielder in that long off position. We've been talking a lot about leg spin. Mickey Arthur, Russell Arnold alongside me. This is another good leg spinner. What we've seen in this tournament, 8 wickets from Case Ahmed. And as you know, Mickey, there are subtle differences across leg spinners. Little nuances that make leg spinners stand out. We spoke about the 2 wicket-taking deliveries by Hasaranga, the wrong on and the normal leg spin. Case Ahmed has a flipper. He has a conventional leg spin to left of screen. Just evades the fielder and will run into the boundary line for 4.
Yeah, he has got that, Darren, and he is a genuine wicket taker. Again, we love the fact that we got wrist spinners bowling in the middle, taking wickets. The difference between him and Hasaranga, they both take wickets with googlies. Case Ahmed's taken most of his wickets with googlies. Hasaranga, though, spins his leg spinner a lot more, whereas Case Ahmed relies on that top spinner that goes straight on.
Or is it all down to good bowling, or is it also a fact that batsmen don't pick these variations? They're not watching the hand as much as they should.
Yeah, that's another dimension to the discussions. Gone! Straight to Russell. Another wicket for Case Ahmed. He strikes.
But that's probably the worst delivery he's bowled. Tom Moores, he's picked his spot, he's hit it. But unfortunately, it's Andre Russell, only he would have caught that. You have to say somewhat the ball caught Andre Russell. It was travelling so hard, no one else is catching that. But the Colombo Kings, they celebrate. Was got a start, but he's thrown it away. 23 off 21. Jaffna Stallions 47 for 2.
Shoaib Malik, an experienced batsman from Pakistan, comes to the crease. Had a beautiful knock of 59 in his last innings. Underproduced, you would say, with the bat for Jaffna Stallions. But since the last innings, I'm sure he would be in a better frame of mind for this challenge today. And when he gets the chance to bat in the semi-final, if he does get the chance.
Went the wrong way, Priyanjan. But he went the right way, Andre Russell. Hammered. That probably would have gone to the boundary on the one bounce if Russell didn't intercept that.
The key to that, it was probably his worst delivery, but it's the build-up. It's the balls before that create the pressure and force a false shot.
Finally gets a start, but cannot continue and make it a big one. Tom Moores. Shoaib Malik got a big role to play here. 126 of 77.
I mentioned that last innings. The very good players like Shoaib Malik, they don't take their form for granted. I particularly looked at him in his preparation for this match. He was outside the boundary line, knocking up whilst the other players were getting set for the game. And that's the sort of attitude you expect and the example you expect from senior players.
And you see that every day. He trains harder, he's a lot older now, and he knows he's got to keep fit and work harder at his skills, which is really, really good. That was faster. I think that's leg buys. 4 of them, 50 up for the Jaffna Stallions.
Just to go back onto Shoaib Malik, as we see Priyanjan fire that one down the leg side, leg bars that is. But just to go back, having worked with Shoaib Malik for the last 3 years, terms of preparation, terms of being professional, second to none. He is a proper professional. He trains, he leaves nothing to chance. A really good example for the younger players.
He'll always tell you, I'm still enjoying it. I got a lot more to play.
This was before play. He was working on punching the ball through the offside, then working on his horizontal bat shots out in the practice area, not taking his form for granted. 59 is what he scored in the last innings.
I like it.
And for a young player looking at that, that's inspiration.
And that's the idea in these tournaments as well. To have these senior players who set an example like that. For the younger players, even they do not play, they sit around and pick up on these few things. If they're not in that environment, they only see the success these players have, not the hard work they put in.
Oh, nice, Achan, nice.
9 off that over. 8 bowled. It's 56 for 2.
Just feel it. Next thing. Adan. Pull the right arm out, you. Right.
56 for 2. 118 required from 72 deliveries now.
Come on, Case. Come on, Case.
Case Ahmed will continue his second over. I've been talking about Case Ahmed and what he uses as his weapon to get wickets. It's his wrong on. These are his wickets to right-handers. 6 of the 8 wickets before this match going against right-handers, only 2 to left-handers. He relies a lot on his wrong on, his googly, so to speak, to get wickets. Very different to Hasaranga, who bowls a googly once every 4 deliveries.
Oh, fielder's name, Mickey.
Angelo Matthews, I nearly said Andre Russell. He knows the standards. He knows the standards we're setting at Sri Lankan cricket right now. Here we go. If we have a look at Case Ahmed, he does. He relies on that googly, as you said, Darren, to get his wickets, where Hasaranga relies on both his googly and his leg spinner.
Wrist spinners an asset. More variations and tougher for the batsman to pick.
Another googly that got the wicket of Tom Moores. A little bit wide. And then again, as a leg spinner, you don't want to have an over-reliance on one delivery. So in terms of his improvement as a leg spinner, maybe a little more focus on spinning his leg break, using that more as a weapon to get wickets.
Yeah, and he will, because if you've got 2 means of getting wickets, like a Hasaranga has, with your genuine leg spin and your googly, it just creates a lot more doubt within the batsman's mind.
Also know some leg spinners don't like to bowl to left-handers. Was he short? Was he short?
He's missed the ball. Case Ahmed, but great fielding at point. And this is very good to see. I think that's Dushmantha Chamira throwing himself. Previously in the over, it was Angelo Matthews, both saving boundaries. It's so good to see the likes of Chamira and Matthews doing that, who have struggled with injury repeatedly through their career. So when the thing that we look out for is how quick are they getting up, and they're getting up pretty fast.
Yeah, with the tour just round the corner, I'm also looking as to how quick they're getting up. But I think they know what the standards are. They've worked hard on their fitness, they've worked hard on their fielding. That's the standard that we want.
Oh, nice, guys.
It's basically 2 boundaries saved by the Colombo Kings fielding. The pressure builds, 9 overs are bowled, it's 61 for 2. Well, the rethink is due. Hence a strategic timeout.
Required rate 10.2. Jaffna Stallions still with 8 wickets in hand. Shoaib Malik likes a run chase. He can pace his innings well.
Plenty different sceneries to be seen. Mickey, you've been spending your time out here, visiting all these glorious places, and every day you have something nice to say. Take Mickey's word. Variety of activities to take part in, and you'll go back home with very pleasant memories.
Pearl of the Indian Ocean, Russ. It's a beautiful, beautiful country.
Tarindu Kaushal. Started bowling very late in the innings in the last game. I was a little surprised with that. I think around the 16th over, after so many options were used. Bowls a lot quicker through the air. That's a decent economy rate in T20 cricket for Tarindu Kaushal.
Can he surprise you? Would you pick him in your My 11 Circle fantasy team for this contest? That's the title sponsor of the Lankal Premier League, My 11 Circle, a fantasy app that you can download. www.my11circle.com is where you can find the app. Select your best team.
Careful how you pick your captain. He gets you double the points.
Oh, nice, boy!
Dealing in singles.
I just want our viewers to take a look at Shoaib Malik's approach in this innings. He will take his time, get himself in, assess conditions. He's well aware of the required rate. Something that he's done quite well in previous T20 matches is find the right tempo to his innings and a partnership that will bring success to his team.
And that would mean the partner has a role to play too. The calculated risk or that extra effort to close in on that required rate, which has now gone up to 10.65. 110 in the last 10 overs. That's what the Kings got, and it was around this stage that we saw the best of Laurie Evans.
One.
Good from Kaushal.
I think what we've seen, and I think this is starting to put Laurie Evans' innings into context. We know he battled for the first little bit of his innings. He got himself in, and then he blossomed. The other batsmen, everyone bar none in this game, have battled with the pace of the ball off the wicket, the sluggishness of the surface, and I think that could be the defining moment here. Was Laurie Evans, his ability to bat long and to bat deep on a sluggish surface.
Should only be a single to end the over. Halfway stage of the innings. 66 for 2. Eight wickets in hand for Jaffna Stallions. They need a further 108 if they are to go on to win. Tasara Pereira still to bat. Hasaranga De Silva, he's also shown good form.
It's been similar challenges for the batsmen. If you look at the scores, at this current stage, it's very similar. 2 wickets lost, 63 for 2, 66 for 2.
Come on, man.
So very little in it. But it's how they recovered from this point, that partnership between Matthews and the way Laurie Evans stood up. That's not great cricket. allows that extra run. Laurie Evans 100, really proving to be the catalyst for the Colombo Kings.
Shiv Malik, 10 from 13. Conventional leg break. We've seen the flipper. We've seen the wrong on from Qais Ahmed. If you're a right-handed batsman, you'll be expecting more of the googly or the wrong on coming into you. And that's what we've seen from him in previous matches.
I like the way you summed up the leg spinners, about how exciting and wicket-taking they are, and the different types of deliveries they employ. And a good leg spinner is always an exciting prospect. He's an attacking option, just like a genuine fast bowler who would create that extra bit of pressure to any batsman. Now, we've seen Qais Ahmed do that. We've seen Wanindu Hasaranga do that. Every time they come into bowl, there's an air of expectancy. They do something. Something might happen.
Now to the left-hander. Moving across the line of the ball. And he will bowl straight lines and use his googlies, Qais Ahmed.
One other thing about these leg spinners have been their pace variations. They've looked to loop it, they've looked to get more purchase, they've mixed it up quite well, both spinners.
A good over. After 11, it's 69 for 2.
ready. Kau paling ni boleh magahai.
So Tarinder Kaushal will continue. He's a quickish off spinner.
1-1.
Starts off with a full toss. Now, listening to Laurie Evans, the point he made about batting being a little bit easier against spin, it really doesn't seem that way, particularly when you're facing the leg spinners.
Come on, Kaisi.
Tarinder Kaushal also seemed to have developed different types of deliveries. He used to be an off spinner who used to bowl the Doosra, but then we know that he had an issue with his action. He's worked hard at his bowling, his action. That's very well punched for 4.
How good was that stroke? Yes, it was in the slot. How easily he executed that stroke. Beautiful. My 11 circle. Champion shot. Just staying in the inside the line of that delivery. Made that stroke. Allowed the batsman to hit the ball into the gap.
Cut away. Finds the gap. Will be another boundary. 9 runs from the over so far.
Too much pace for the batsman. And that's what Chandimal is asking him to do. Take the pace off, flight the ball. That'll bring few problems for the batsman, not with this pace. Easy pickings for the left-hander. 2 boundaries already.
The previous delivery was over 100 Ks, and this one was close to that. He fires the ball in 97, 198. He's like medium pace. That's better. It's better. He's looking for some loop that was still 98, but he could see some attempted revs on the ball.
Just want to follow your point that you made
Come on,
when Laurie Evans was interviewed. He spoke about him mistiming the ball very early in his innings and then being more fluent against the spinners. That had a lot to do with the use of his feet, building some momentum into the ball. His stroke play down the ground became the hallmark of his innings. Seeing a similar approach by Shoaib Malik, when inclined to using his feet, getting to the pitch of the ball.
He'll be the key here going forward. Asalanka's quite young. That's another full toss from Tharindu Kaushal, who's been a little bit wayward. Hasn't really been able to bring in that control. The one that's fired in, that's again 90. Couple of runs here. So that's a big over. 13 runs off it is 82 for 2. Well, the MVP of the tournament, Danushka Gunatilaka, still ahead with 263. Asela Gunaratna, Dasun Shanaka, Tisara Pereira and Vanidu Hasaranga. We've spoken about being all Sri Lankan.
Somewhere beyond 5th is Laurie Evans, I would think.
Right arm over to you. Right arm over.
Maybe Case Ahmed as well.
Maybe, I was thinking Dre Russ would figure quite prominently, but maybe he's fallen away a little bit after that whirlwind innings. But talking of the man, here he is.
It seems like he gets confused how to go about the job, Andre Russell, when he's asked to bat in the middle overs. And he just takes his A game when he's batting up the order or in the depth of the innings. Last few overs, he just goes out there and wheel the willow and meet success. But middle overs, he struggles. Now that one kept low.
Well, it's a grind for the batsman, 92 of 48. You look at balls versus runs, that's just close to 12 runs and over. Very gettable in T20 cricket. Manidu Hasaranga, Tisara Pereira, Chaturanga De Silva. May not be in that order. Tisara should be coming in ahead of Manidu Hasaranga.
It's going to be an arduous task for the batsman to come, because the required rate is shooting up to more than 11.5 per over. That's in the air. Fielder camping underneath it and takes it. Andre Russell strikes straight away in his first over.
Well, after a couple fumbles in the field, Russell gets into this game with the ball, length delivery. Not quite sure about the shot. Inappropriate at this time, you would think, from Asalanka. He was well set on 32. Just didn't get the distance. Maybe more the top of the bat. And Russell celebrates. He will be disappointed. He's not carried on. 32 from 27, it's 83 for 3.
That's funny.
That's relative.
So Chaturanga de Silva, I was thinking Thisara, the batting order showed Wanidu, but it's Chaturanga de Silva. Comes out. So the left hand, right hand combination continues. 430 is 150. So that will be the game plan of Shoaib Malik, nudging, deflecting, running hard, accumulating as much as he can.
Yes, that ball was going away from the off stump. And the better option for the left-hander would have been, look, to hit the ball towards mid-wicket. A jab would have done nicely for him. He went for a pull shot, wasn't the right idea. Valiant effort from the fieldsman. The backward point in vain. Like the commitment though.
Take a note of the pace from Andre Russell. 111 kilometers per hour. What you will see is that pace variation. And he's a strong man, can bowl high 130s. And as a batsman, you must be expecting that.
.86 for 3. That gap widening between balls and runs at the moment. Haven't seen those boundaries. That was quicker. That's what you were talking about, Darren. Pushed through a bit quicker in the mid 130s to the new batsman.
He has that surprise element for the batsman. And that's a key to ball in this format. You have to keep on surprising the batsman to make inroads.
Behind point, using the pace, it gets off the mark. Again, that delivery in the mid 130s. Russell looking for a bit of extra pace. And a welcome boundary for the Jaffna Stallions. It's 90 for 3.
A bit of a width on offer there. Gleefully accepted. Chaturanga de Silva coming into the side. He was left out in the last game. You think that he'll be a surety for the semi-final match with his all-round ability?
.90 for 3. Reply to that 173 for 4. 84-42. Actually, the news we have about him was he was also carrying a slight niggle. So the Jaffna Stallions were very careful with the playing options. They were not overstretching them. Surudana.
There's so many attacking options for Angelo Matthew, the captain of Colombo Kings. And Udana is one of those options which could be used in any situation. Samira's 3 overs been kept to deal with Pereira, captain of Jaffna Stallions. Good captaincy from Angelo Matthews. Using plenty of bowling options. It's a luxury, isn't it, for a captain to have in a T20 game?
Taken. Soft dismissal. Chaturanga de Silva goes. Andre Russell, the catcher. So this is not good for the Gold Stallions. Oh, Jaffna Stallions, I beg your pardon. It's not good at all because they're losing wickets. What the Colombo Kings did was they got that partnership going. Laurie Evans and Angelo Matthews, but that's exactly what's missing here. Jaffna Stallions have now lost 2 quick wickets. Chaturanga de Silva goes for 4. 91 for 4. Tisera Pereira is the new batsman. I'll be very interested to see the type of bowling Angelo Matthews will now call upon with Tisera Pereira there. Will he go for Chamira, extra pace? That's generally been the plan against him. Don't forget, Chamira has 3 overs up his sleeve, so he would have been preserved for a situation like this. And also for an over or 2 in the death. Surudana would be expected to go 1 or at least 2 in the death. Swings it away on the onside. Straight away he's off the mark. That didn't bounce. That was the right height for Tisera Pereira.
My 11th circle champion shot that was from a champion player. Doesn't need much time to get his eye in and back his strengths.
And again, will he get it through? Put down. How big will this miss be? If you are a Colombo Kings supporter, you would know that this partnership could change the game.
They had a man on the boundary. Udana went for it, got the high bouncing ball. Tixila De Silva wasn't far away from it. Did the hard yards, but just couldn't hold on to it. How crucial will this catch be?
Well, let me tell you, he won't be breathing for a long time. He is a dangerous player, Pereira. To give him a chance like that, live, that was an easy catch. Shouldn't have coughed it up. You don't get easier than these at this level. Should have been taken. He'll be nervous from here on. He'll be hoping and praying that Pereira gets out quickly.
Firm strike, good footwork from Surudana. He will be frustrated and disappointed. He didn't get his man. 9 runs from the over, 99 for 4. Very good effort from the tall fast bowler Surudana. Just sustaining the pressure on Tisera Pereira.
We were speaking about the thinking of Angelo Matthews and the way forward with Tisera Pereira in. And this is no surprise that they just held him back, Dushmantha Chamira. I don't think I will see too many change-ups with Tisera on strike. That is, when he gets on strike, he'll be going really quickly, back of a length. Oh, dropped him again. Dropped him again. This is Surudana. Both batsmen, in the space of 2 deliveries, 3 deliveries, have been given lives. And really not difficult. Straight in to Surudana. Tixila De Silva before.
$100 comes up. Will that just settle him a bit? And the frustration he had with his teammate, he had a chance and put it down.
Interesting field set. Pereira likes to hit the ball down the ground, especially towards long off. It's in the circle.
Just to give you an idea of the impact that Tisera Pereira has had in previous innings against Dambulla, Scored a fine half century when his team was in a crisis. He was 64 for 5. Then against Kandy Tuskers, they were 49 for 4. Yet again he came in and he scored a half century. Got his team over the line. Those are his boundaries, his sixes. Doesn't change his approach, regardless of the situation his team is in.
That's a change up. He does it so well. He mixes it up very well. Spoken about the control that Dushmantha Chameera has brought into his bowling.
They have to keep an eye on the run rate. Shot up to 13 runs and over now. 5.3 overs remaining. 2.3 for the quick fast bowler. It is going to be an uphill task from here on for these batsmen.
Gives himself room. 6. It wasn't as quick as what Dushmantha Chameera could do.
Up the middle of the bat, sounded really well. He was moving away and to hit it as clean as that. That's impressive. Now, there you see the My 11 Circle champion fan of the day on the screen, enjoying the match on his phone. My 11 Circle, if you want to be one of them, make your own team. My 11 Circle and play with the champions.
Low 130s, that length. Thisara Pereira will enjoy himself. Backed away, as you said, Darren, and hit it with a horizontal bat.
Yet again, just short of Laurie Evans. He was caught the last time these two teams met in that set position. Laurie Evans taking the catch, so there is some history between both teams that they will try to use to their advantage. Shoaib Malik has to improve his strike rate. Just 82 now. Works it through the onside for a single. 110 for 4.
Right, look at that bottom bit. 64 runs required from 30 balls. 6 wickets in hand. So they need to go at just a shade under 13 runs the over, which means they've got to get boundaries, and boundaries early. Certainly one at least. On no Russell. That's swept away, and there's one.
Short and wide. First boundary for Shoaib Malik in this innings. It's taken 25 balls, but he wouldn't mind that. He's taking his time. Slower delivery picked up. Shoaib Malik early in the over, as you said, Hazy. My 11 Circle champion shot.
Down the ground, straight back past the bowler. There's another one. Right, so there's the two I was looking for early in the over.
Beautiful shot by Shoaib Malik. He's a master of a run chase. He knows exactly how to pace himself. Deep in the crease, straight back from where it came from. Great shot, Shoaib Malik.
And effortless, risk-free. That's why they're consistent. That's why players like this are around in cricket for a long time. In the slot.
Full toss, the third one. That's to the sweeper on the offside. So there are 3 deliveries that have got the treatment, really. The first one was right. fine shot from Malik. The second was a half volley back over the bowler's head. So he's got his work cut out now, big Andre Russell.
But this is a good battle though. Andre Russell has got that change of pace. Very deceptive his action. And Tisera Pereira who strikes it far. But of course they will use the short ball against him. The change of pace is what will be crucial for Andre Russell. The field for Andre Russell. There's a mid-wicket. The short fine leg. There's an extra cover. Now the fielder needs to come into the circle. Yes, square leg comes in. It's going to be bowling across Pereira, trying to make him reach for it.
Underneath that one, is it enough? Yes, it is. That's gone for 6 as the big over. It just needs one over to really turn things around dramatically.
Yeah, it does. And suddenly you see the captain will start scampering. He'll be looking at all his bowling options. Fields will be changing. The pressure, though, put onto Andre Russell by Shoaib Malik with the first 2 balls.
The length was perfect for Pereira. And with this field, he's got to go slightly wider. The idea was to make him fetch, but a little too close.
Now, has that gone too far? No. Out. That is a huge wicket. It really is.
And the plan. It comes together. They were trying to make him fetch. The field was set. He got one wrong, but not the next. Just as the Jaffna Stallions were starting to move, Pereira finds one of those fielders in an unusual place, but set for a reason. Pereira's short knock comes to an end. 22 off 9. The Jaffna Stallions 125 for 5. They have 4 overs to go and a ball. Strategic timeout.
Right, we've got one ball left in the 16th over. 15 runs from this one. 125 for 5 it is. The equation is 49 from 25 balls, 5 wickets in hand. If Jaffna win, they go top. Colombo go third. Colombo win, they go second. Jaffna go third. That's what's in this. So it's all about playing for positions and who plays against who in the semis. Let's clip that away. It might be another wicket. It is. My goodness gracious me. That was a bit of a short, wide delivery and a straight down the throat of the sweeper on the offside.
He just can't do anything wrong, Andre Russell. Whatever he does, just turns to gold. Clubbed it straight to the fielder. So Shoaib Malik goes the very next ball after Thisara Pereira. It's too easy. This game is too easy for this man. Shoaib Malik, 29. Jaffna Stallions, 125 for 6.
As it'll break now for the Colombo Kings at the same stage. They were 138 for 3. Laurie Evans is firing. Now, the Stallions in trouble. This is Thisara Pereira. Caught a deep backward square. Malik caught square on the fence. 2 wickets and 2 balls. Andre Russell's now got 3 for 22. Running out of batsmen now. The Jaffna Stallions.
Andre Russell's got a couple of catches as well. 1 stinger.
Down the third man pretty quickly. Case Ahmed down there.
If we just reflect on the over just before that, Andre Russell bowled. First 4 balls went for 15. And then the next 2, he's got rid of the danger men, Thisara Pereira and Shoaib Malik.
Suranga Lakmal is the new batsman.
Right, how are they going to get these 48 required from 23? They're going to have to squeeze a couple of boundaries around the place. Hasaranga's not too bad with the bat, but he's could get support. That's whipped away on the leg side, and that's a boundary. That's nicely played by Suranga Lakmal.
Well, he can bat. That's a lovely shot. Suranga Lakmal standing tall. Well, they'll need a lot more of that. 44 off 22. There was a slip for that first ball. Now he's disappeared.
I guess they've got to be thinking 12 runs and over. That's what the equation is. They've got to be thinking that they stay up with that. Can't afford to fall behind it. Swinging at that one. It's safe enough. Couple of bounces down again to Case Ahmed.
Suranga Lakmal giving it everything. Absolutely everything. And I suppose he has to now as we look at Andre Russell's wickets. Full wide of off stump with the field set back. Very well executed. Bowled to his field there. Kushal, a good catch.
Cries of catch it. Laurie Evans is down there on the bounce.
They've got to try. Swinging hard, Hasaranga. Good strike rate. He got a fighting 41 against the same opposition when the innings was going nowhere. Well cut out. Up against Andre Russell and Dushmantha Chamira, both on top of their game.
So 7 from the over, 2 balls remaining. Can they get another 4? With a bit of luck, 5. It's a bottom edge. It's just going to be the 1. Now suddenly, if they don't get a boundary off this last ball, this ends up being a very good over. That required run rate will just climb a fraction. And it just becomes a little bit harder when you haven't got recognised batsmen in the middle. They don't stay as calm. They realise they don't have the control over the bat and over the ball that the top order batsmen do have. So therefore, sometimes a bit of panic can set in, try and hit the big boundaries with deliveries perhaps they shouldn't.
He's been impressive tonight, Dushmantha Chamira. Bowled with great pace, hit a good length, the hard length as we say, intermixed it with a couple of bounces. Pretty impressive.
That's always the key. He could be bowling quick, but if you become predictable, batsman again can line you up. But he's brought in a lot more skills into his game of late.
Solid connection, but it's almost too well hit. Just 1. Right, well, they've got to be happy with that over. Just 9 runs from it, 134 for 6. So this is a hat-trick ball. Picked up 2 wickets and 2 balls to finish the previous over. Hat-trick delivery. Eased away, just the 1.
All fielders deep on the edge of the ring now, as they would be. Bowled well tonight again under Russell. Everything he touches just seems to turn to gold at the moment.
Whether he's catching a ball or trying to hit a ball, makes it look so simple. Took a blinder of a catch. Dismissed Tom Moores.
Big swing and a miss. So we have the benefit of the machine, a score machine we call the fruit machine, up in the commentary box. Tells us the required rate now is climbed to over 14 and a half. There's a simple catch that he took earlier. So 14.63 runs to the over. Oh, that's to make it climb even further now. A couple of dot balls doesn't help their cause at all.
Slower ball followed by a perfect Yorker. Following the batsman. This is the one we're talking about. Hammered. No one else was catching it. It's just the big man.
So 1 off the over and halfway through it. Slower delivery. Can't do anything with that.
Mixed his pace up beautifully this over. He's gone full. He's used that full delivery to his field, bowled to his field. He's executed that well. And then he's bowled his slower balls exceptionally well too. Mixed it up, showing us his full variety.
So 2 balls left in the over. This is now where you get a situation where batsmen start to panic a little bit. And I guess they've got to get boundaries. They realise that. It's now gone up to nearly 16.3 to the over. So they've got to get a boundary. In fact, they've got to get 2 boundaries off the last 2 balls.
Too good, just too good. Perfect exhibition of death bowling. Lengths, lines, angles, change of pace. 37 off 13. Andre Russell still has another over to bowl, so Angelo Matthews can use him to bowl out.
Low full toss, hammered down the ground, one bounce, 4. In the end, that's 7 runs from the over, 18 gone, 141 for 6.
Slightly wrong. Little too late. 7 off the over, not enough. They needed 10 more. Usmanta Chamira, impressive once again. He still has an over, but Surudana, it seems like, was going to be entrusted with the ball.
Change ball left arm round the wicket.
Right, look at the Cycle Incense Fair Play Award. Nice to have them on board as well, by the way. Dambulla Viking at the top with 625. The Stallions, Jaffna Stallions number 2. Colombo Kings, not Tings, Kings at number 5. Gould Gladiators at 3 and 4. That's the next game, by the way. That's going to be a beauty. That's a quarter-final. Winner goes through to the semis. So there's plenty to play for in that game. 33 from 12. 2 overs remaining. Call was for 2, but it won't be there because the non-strikers end. Lakmal had to go back a little bit to make sure that the bowler wasn't going to try and stop that.
Fielder out at long on, very quick to the ball. Got it back into Isuru Dana. We will see his whole variation now. Very proficient. Pace off the ball is his go. He does bowl quite a quick bouncer. Very experienced.
Hard on the bounce and 4. Bursting through the hands, a scooted off the turf. There's a bit of dew out there and it went for a boundary.
Ashan Priyanjan, it was burying that over the boundary line. It was at an awkward height, bounced at a place where you're not sure whether to go for it or hold back. But coach, you want better than that, isn't it?
100%, exactly right. Angelo Matthews has got his gun fielder and Laurie Evans down at long on now. You want to get your best fielders into the hotspot positions.
I'll tell you what, if you had downloaded the My 11 Circle app and had Laurie Evans picked as one of your players, you would have done really well. You get bonus points for centuries. It was his highest score in T20 cricket. He played absolutely superbly, so he would have done you proud if you had that name as one of your players.
Fielders all over the place, different plan. In wideish point, deep point, long off, but wherever you put the fielders didn't matter for Laurie Evans earlier today. Made it look so simple. Some wonderful strikes down the ground, off the back foot. Thoroughly enjoyed watching that knock.
Nicely played. Back live now. Squeezed away. 2 men behind square, saving 1. 1 man deep as well. He does really well. That's good work.
I enjoyed that field and the way he bowled. He bowled to it. He had a man deep at 3rd man. Oh, the next game. This is the mouth-watering one. The loser goes home. The winner goes through to the semi-final. Just to go back to Suridana, he bowled it exactly to his field. He had a man down at deep 3rd man. He had a deep, very fine backward point, and he landed it perfectly. The only direction the ball could go in was the squeeze down to that area.
Using a different angle to Hasaranga.
Hang on a sec, he made an error, didn't he? Oh no, it's Angelo Matthews. Oh goodness me, I thought it was Andre Russell for a minute there.
Oh, that's why he's so good, Isurudana. To Suranga Lakmal, it was a different plan and he executed it well. Different angle, as you were explaining. But to Hasaranga, he goes around the wicket and cramps him up for room.
Yeah, we've seen Hasaranga very proficient through the offside. He likes slicing the ball. He opens the bat face, uses the pace to hit it through the offside. Suranga Lakmal, we know, clears his front leg and hits it through the leg side. So 2 plans on the go here.
Just the single. This is looking like a bridge too far for the Jaffna Stallions.
25 off 7. He's got plenty of options, Matthews, for that last over. Chamira has one. Andre Russell has one. 15 and 2 wickets. That was the over that the Stallions got most runs.
Big swing and a miss. Huge swing and a miss to finish the over. 8 runs from it, 19 gone, 149 for 6. .25 required by the Jaffna Stallions to get up and win this in the last over. Looks like the Colombo Kings are going to end up going second, and the Jaffna Stallions are running out of puff. That looks like they're going to end up third. Of course, they're in the semis, both these teams in the semis, but Jaffna Stallions quite possibly losing 3 in a row. Andre Russell again, just over the top of leg stump. Dot ball to finish. No, they decide to sneak a by.
Will they get up to 150? They crawl to 150. Now the last 3 games, the Stallions have scored only 148, 150, and here they're 150 for 6. So batting has really gone nowhere, if you do have a look at that. But in the first 4 games, they were so dominant with the bat. Chasing down 175 with ease. Scoring 218, 195. What a change.
That's a good connection, and that's gone all the way. That's a very, very big hit. 6 runs.
Hang on, hang on. 4 of 18. What's Hasaranga thinking?
That was interesting because he cleared his front leg here and he went to an area that he doesn't normally go to. He's hit that over long on and he's got all of it. That is a big, big hit.
Slower ball in the slot.
18 off 4 now. Oh, big swing and a miss. You've got to get bat on it in this sort of situation now. Just a little tickle over the top of the keeper would have been handy.
But that was also a slower ball, but bowled into the pitch. Not given the length that Hasaranga likes.
Nor the pace. He likes using the pace to open the bat face and hit it through the offside. Clearly, Andre Russell's done his homework.
Dot ball, dot ball. Homework, Mickey.
Yes, Russ, you know, preparation's key.
True that. It's all about the preparation. But then the ability to carry it into the match and handle pressure.
No ball called. Smack that for 6 as well. So there's going to be a free hit coming up. Overstepping. There's confirmation of the 6, and now the free hit. Andre Russell's having a bit of a look with those size 11s.
2 off 11, 2 off 11. Surely. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big no ball. What can Hasaranga do? He'll start believing once again. He's got a free hit, but he's going to need 2 sixes. A 6 and a 4, you get yourself a super over.
It's bound to be pace off. Surely, 2 men back. Long off, long on. Also a cow corner. Oh, it almost went through. Almost got through. Had that gone through, things have been very interesting.
They've been a little clumsy at times. They put down 2 catches, but they've saved quite a few boundaries with their fielding. This is one, Tarindu Kaushal. I remember around the 10th over, there's some wonderful dives. Angelo Matthews and Kaushal again.
Had it got through, that would have been a 6 to have a super over. Here we go. Here's the last ball. 11 off 1 is what's required. It's interesting from Andre Russell. And it gets hammered for 4 in the end. But they get up. Colombo Kings get up. Laurie Evans has been absolutely superb today. No wonder he's smiling. It's a really good performance from Laurie Evans. Big smiles from Andre Russell as well. He was in the game. Picked up 3 wickets, including 2 wickets and 2 balls. Couple of catches as well. And now the Colombo Kings have found themselves going to 2nd on the table.
Laurie Evans the man. When you get a start, you battle your way through, and then you make it pay. 108, his second T20 100. It was a treat to watch and a powerful knock. 108 out of 173 tells the story.
Yeah, a great day out for Laurie Evans.
Win by 6 runs, the Colombo Kings on the back of that 100, and then backed up by some quality bowling.
Yeah, they'll be very happy with their day out. I think they were very professional today. They'll want to work on their fielding. They'll want to work on their catching, as will most sides in this competition, to be honest. But they got the runs on the board, and then they were pretty clinical with the ball.
And I think the problem again with Jaffna is the fact that their batting was not up to scratch, and they lost wickets at the wrong times. They lost Johnson Charles with 14 on the board, then Moores with 47, Asalanka with 83 on the board, and suddenly those wickets just fell at the wrong times. They didn't get any partnerships together, and that was a real problem for them. Hence the issues in falling short in the end, and the Kings winning by 6 runs. So if you have a look back at what happened with the Jaffna Stallions, you can see right at the top again they've got their issues. They cannot get going at the top, as opposed to the Colombo Kings with the Centurion in their lineup right at the top. Charles with 8, Moores with 23, 30 to Asalanka. Malik, who is such a key player in this situation, gone for 29, 22 for Pereira. And Hasaranga not out 23 in the end, so it wasn't enough. 167 for 6. It just wasn't enough chasing that total.
No, it wasn't enough. Again, 8 bowlers used by the Colombo Kings. Andre Russell the most successful. He did go for a lot though, going at 11.5, getting 3 wickets, and then a wicket for Udana. Chamira I thought was pretty impressive. Udana very good as well. And then the Case Ahmed, 3 overs, 1 for 15. He just keeps going and keeps getting better and better.
All right, I look back at the match summary. Colombo Kings 173 for 4 with Laurie Evans 108 not out of 65 deliveries. He was absolutely magnificent, and the Stallions, well, their top scorer was 32. That's all, 32 and then 3 20s. And in the end, they couldn't get enough. Just made the 167 for 6. Andre Russell picking up 3 for 46. And the spinners doing a very tidy job as well, which was instrumental. And the Colombo Kings winning by 6 runs. Okay, let's have a look at the points table and see what those changes are. The Dambulla Viking side is at the top. They've got 11 points. Colombo Kings are number 2 now. They've played the 7 games and they've got 10 points. And the Jaffna Stallions have gone down to number 3. They've played their full games. 8 they've played and 9 points to them as well. And the big game coming up is the County Tuskers versus the Gaul Gladiators, and that is all about who goes through into the semi-finals. Okay, time for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the presentation and a further chat upstairs in the studio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the post-match presentation. And let me start off by thanking a few of our sponsors, My 11 Circle, Cycle Agarbadi, Red Bull, and Himani, as well as Manchi Kome. Well, we'll start off by talking to the Jaffna Stallions captain, Thisara Pereira. They haven't been enjoying their out cricket in the last 4 games. How worrying is it, Thisara?
It's a cricket, so we all know about that. So anyway, so I'm happy with my bowling unit because this kind of batting lineup, 173 minutes chaseable. So I'm little worried about our batting lineup. So hopefully we can do for the semi-finals.
Yeah, obviously you guys weren't at full strength today. Tell us about your injury worries.
Oh, actually, that is the good news for us because our every player is now fit to play semi-finals.
All right, very good news. Let's hope you'll start smiling again. All the best.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, that was Thisara Pereira. And now let us talk to the winning captain, Colombo Kings, Angelo Matthews. Brimming confidence, the Colombo Kings team.
Yeah, it was a good effort today. I thought, Laurie batted brilliantly, assessed the conditions. It was a little bit slower to start off with, but I thought he assessed the conditions and took on the bowlers after the 10th over, which was very easy for guys like Russ to go in there and just, hammer towards the end.
Am I right to say that you're peaking at the right time? Or you're starting to peak?
Well, I think we've played really good cricket right throughout the tournament, except for a couple of games. And yes, I mean, the 2 games that we lost, our attitude weren't really there. But today I thought we turned up again with great attitude, and the bowlers, responded to that 175 brilliantly.
Going into the semi-final, what will be the area that you're concerned most?
No, I think all 3 departments. We just want to keep improving, even bowling, batting, and fielding. I thought we still do mistakes, but I think we won some games pretty convincingly. But semi-finals is anyone's game, so you just have to be on your guard all the time.
Well done today. All the best. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the man of the match, and he'll receive a check of $1,000 from Hemnet, and it goes to the man who got the first 100 in the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League, Laurie Evans.
Hello.
Many congratulations. That was a brilliant knock. Tell us what your plan was today.
Try and get some runs. You don't plan that. You just try and play every day differently and try and adapt when you're out there. But it was actually quite tricky at the start. They bowled quite well, and we lost a few wickets. And I just knew that, towards the back end, if I was still there, then obviously I could cash in.
Yeah, we did see you talking a lot with the captain. What was the thinking at that time? Were you trying to bat through a face, or were you aiming a target?
I think you just try and target bowlers as much as you can. So, Lakmal at the top bowled really well, full and straight. It was quite hard work. As soon as the spin came on, I felt like I could maybe target the spin to hit some boundaries. So, it's just about sort of working our way through the innings and seeing which bowlers we could take down.
On the subject of spin, we've seen Wanidu Hasaranga being outstanding. Did you have a special plan going into this game against him?
Well, obviously he got me in the game before with a really good googly, and that's one of the challenges coming here. You've faced bowlers you've never faced before. So I sort of knew what to expect today. And, I sort of played for the googly every ball, and obviously it paid off.
Laurie, very well done. We enjoyed your innings.
Thank
you.
Well. Cheers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our post-match presentation.
2020. Win together.
Righto, here we go. We are not too far away from getting our second game underway on day 3. Now, at one stage, we didn't think that Hambantota was going to be busy at all. There was so much action out the middle, but we have some good news for you. We're going to be getting underway at this terrific stadium, which was blue before because it was totally covered because we had 3 hours of seriously solid rain. The ground staff were sensational. They got out there, got the covers out, the whole ground was covered, and that's what they do in Sri Lanka. It's so effective, and it took them no time whatsoever. And then suddenly the rain stopped, and the head groundsman said, righto, let's get out there, let's get the covers off, and let's get going for this, the final game. It's a short game, I'll tell you about that now. It is the Gaul Gladiators versus the Colombo Kings, and it is 5 overs a side. That's all it is. So there's going to be firepower deluxe. And that guy on the left, in particular, who's in form after his performance in the last game, I'm sure is going to look forward to this. I've got Russell Arnold alongside me to just chat through it a little bit. Russell, this is going to be interesting to see this because 5 overs aside is game on. It's going to be flying all over the place.
It certainly would be. It's going to be a big bash, I'll tell you, because there's Afridi, there's Russell, and they only know one way. They only know to hit that ball, and it's going to go far.
Okay, one of the concerns, obviously, for the players is the conditions out there. So we need to get out there straight away and just find out exactly what it looks like now with Darren Genga.
Gaul Gladiators and Colombo Kings will have their work cut out in this 4th match of the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League. We've had a significant amount of rain after that first match. Just to tell you a little bit about the conditions, I'll go down, put my hand on the grass. Look at it, it's damp. So both teams will make sure that they have a drying agent to keep that ball very, very dry so that the bowlers could grip it. In terms of the pitch, it remains the same. All credit to the ground staff, the curator, for protecting the surface and ensuring that we could get a match in this 4th game. The bowlers will have to make sure that they're very precise, very accurate with their lines, their lengths. Batsmen, they will take an advantage. We've seen batting friendly surfaces here and even covering of grass. With a little bit of rain, with the dew, the ball will come onto the bat nicely. The other thing before I go, it will race across the outfield. So run scoring will be easy, more pressure on the bowlers, and it is a lottery. Either team could come out on top in this affair.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. It's going to be fascinating to see what the tactics are from the teams and contrasting fortunes, of course, for these two teams. The Kings, the Colombo Kings, got up with that super over in day number 1, and of course the Gaul Gladiators, they went down yesterday. So they're looking to bounce back in style today, and this is going to be tough in this situation.
It would be, but on the other hand, there's nothing much to chink. They're just going to have to play their shots, and that's the type of players they'll have. And if it comes off, the confidence that they need for the rest of the tournament will come in for those batsmen.
He's going to be key. Shahid Afridi, he is going to be key, and he's in form. He played superbly the other night. He was hitting the ball well.
Gee, he changed the game, didn't he? Because the Gladiators were going nowhere, and his 58 of 23 gave them something to bowl at. Unfortunately, the bowling didn't hold up, but that's the way to do it. And if he can do that, the others will follow.
That's a shot from our drone. So you can see the blue covers around the place. I can't stress this enough for some of our viewers around the world watching this telecast. That whole area was covered in blue, Russ, and you've seen it before many times. They don't mess around like other parts of the world where they just literally just cover the pitch area. The whole playing field was covered in blue, so it was really good work from the ground staff. There's a look at the revised playing conditions, and it's reduced to 5 overs per side. There's 2 overs of power play. 2 bowlers can bowl a maximum of 2 overs, and 1 bowler can obviously bowl the maximum of 1 over after that. So the captain is going to be in the gun, and he's got some thinking to do out there because, I mean, it's going to be one of those situations where there's not going to be too much time to breathe, really, as a captain.
Won't be, but since only 3, he can get away with using 3 bowlers. He can use his 3 best bowlers. So in that sense, there is some breathing space for the captain.
Is it a situation where you've got to fall back on some experienced guys? I mean, someone like an Afridi, is he going to be such a key man because he's been there before in this sort of situation many times?
He'll have to put his hand up for sure. Mohammad Amir is another for the Gladiators, and Angelo Matthews, he's got to stick with the Russells and these Rudanas to bank on. You've got to go to them early.
Speaking of Russell, what do you do with him? Do you open the batting with Andre Russell?
I couldn't hear you.
Andre Russell, do you open the batting with Andre Russell? What do you do with him?
That's a good one. That's a really good question, but I'll go at 3 with him just in case.
Even though it's 5 overs?
Even though it's 5 overs, because of the fact that it's a new ball, I'll just give him some breathing space.
Okay. Now, how important is it now for the Gladiators? I mean, let's say they happen to go down today in this sort of game.
That'll put them back. They have to pick up. But let's see. It's not all lost because 6 more games to go.
Okay, righto. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we'll have the toss as well. Now, welcome back. Just to let you know that after 3 hours of rain, we have got a game eventually, in case you're just joining in. It's 5 overs a side, so it's going to be helter-skelter out there. And it's going to be a situation where I'm sure both teams are going to want to play well in these conditions, which are going to be a little bit slippery underfoot. And it's going to be a situation also where the batsmen are going to be favoured. There's no doubt about that, because if the ball just travels on this wet outfield, I think there's also going to be problems for some of the bowlers to have a good grip of the ball. Right, just very, very briefly, what is the key to winning this sort of game in your mind?
A very tough question. Things need to go your way.
Yeah.
I guess, as usual, just hold your nerve and believe in what you need to do, because there's no room for too much plans. There's no room to breathe. So you just got to hope for the best. So I'm not really sure what exactly you can say. You got to hope that something comes your way and you're able to grab it.
So who are the real out-and-out match winners in this game?
For the Gladiators, you can't look past Afridi.
Yep.
And Andre Russell for the Kings in such a situation. And I don't agree with the ball running along the ground, because they don't hit it along the ground. You better correct yourself there.
You think it's going to be flying there all over the place? It's not going to be in the ground too much.
Outfield don't matter.
Okay, righto. Okay, we are ready, I think, now to go downstairs for the toss. Let's go down and speak to the captains and find out more from Roshan Abasinghe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do have magnificent news. I know you've been waiting for some cricket, and indeed we are having cricket. Now, before I say anything, I must say a big well done to the ground staff. They've done a magnificent job. We did have rain, they worked hard, and we're going to have a 5-over game in the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League between Galle Gladiators and Colombo Kings. Now, let me first introduce our dignitaries here. Graham Lebroy needs no introduction. He's our match referee. Shahid Afridi, he had a great game the other day. He's here as captain again. It's Galle Gladiators and our own Angelo Matthews, and from Colombo Kings, of course. And here is Shahid Afridi going to spin the coin. Heads is the call.
Heads.
And it is a
Tails.
tail.
Let me see again.
It is a tail. Well, for a moment I thought it's a head. It's a tail. What are you going to do?
We want to ball first. Yeah, bowling first.
Bowling first.
Yeah.
Angie, what do you think you would have done?
I would have bowled first too.
So you both wanted to bowl first. What do you think? 5 overs. How tough is it?
It is tough. It is tough, and because the match gonna start at 8 o'clock, but it's delay because of the rain. But I think it will be a good entertainment fight over. Yeah.
Obviously, Angie, what do you think? You enjoy such short games?
Yeah, we are here to play cricket, so it's an opportunity for us to showcase once again. Whether it's 5 overs or 20 overs, we're glad that we got because the ground staff was brilliant today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your team.
Yeah, we got one change. Manfred is not playing. Bell Drummond is playing.
And you?
We made 2 changes. Yeah.
All right. You don't like to tell us?
I don't know the second name, but the first name is the Wani guy. He's playing.
All right.
And Walton, he's resting.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All the best, gentlemen. All
Thanks,
the best.
Thanks.
So the news from the centre is that the Galle Gladiators, they won the toss and they're very happy to bowl.
Thank you. First blood to them. Righto, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Win the toss and look to bowl first. Chase down the 5.
Yes. You got to know what you're chasing, because it's very difficult to set those targets and how you're going to go about it. You just hope that you hit the opposition hard as you start, just to work on those nerves and then try and take it from there.
Right, now let's just have a bit of a chat about one of the 2 of the key players for the Colombo Kings. I want to start with Angelo Matthews. I mean, in this sort of game, this is really important for him to perform, and it's tailor-made, I guess, to a certain extent.
For himself as well, because there's still a lot more matches, so even not in this context, for him to come to form, and if a captain is in form and he's able to perform, it's so much easier to get the mob to follow you. Otherwise, you're just doing too much talking. It's always better with action. And that's where Afridi in this situation is in a better position after yesterday's knock.
Right. Okay, and he looks like he's enjoying himself and having a bit of fun out there as well. Janesh Chandimal played really nicely in their previous game.
Geez, I liked the way he batted. It was so easy, so controlled. He knew where to hit it. And that was more like the Dinesh Chandimal, the young Dinesh Chandimal who came onto the scene, where he was very instinctive and was not afraid to play his shots. As responsibility came on to him, he started being very defensive. So now he's broken free from that. But today I think it's a different game, because it's very much shorter. He's still a good batsman, though he can play his shots. But it'll be interesting to see how he manages the mindset.
80 off 46 for Janesh Chandimal. Now, we saw Afridi having a chat to the Gladiators. Right now, I'm sure Angelo Matthews and also Herschel Gibbs. I mean, he's pretty laid back, we know Herschel. What will he be saying to his charges?
Let's just do it. Let's just play what comes in front of you. Let's not have too many plans. What's there? Let's take it. Let's do it.
So you don't go into this sort of, well, there's Andre Russell, so he looks like he's moving to the sidelines to maybe get the pads on. There's Afridi. It's quite extraordinary with the number of cricket that he's played in this format, that his runs per over is 6.71. I mean, that's amazing for Afridi.
Even yesterday, it was very difficult to get away. It's just that last over that he